Gotta hit the right button. Alright, hello and welcome back to DragonPoetSociety. I'm your resident DM, Nicholas, and we are returning with unfortunately, Sans cat. She's feeling unwell today, but she'll be back next time, hopefully. But we're back for another installment of our Lumoria campaign, picking up right where we left off. We are gonna get right into the recap. So, when last... Oh, and I should point out, we're at a new time. As you already may know, we're starting at 6 o'clock, going still to the same 9:30-ish timeline to get a little extra playtime. So, tell your friends, tell your enemies, all that good stuff. Going into the recap, when last we left off, the group had... I'm just pressing some buttons. The group was pressing some people's buttons. But anyway, the group had come into, has come to the close, more or less, of the 89th turning of the second shard, not far away from Midyear's turning celebration on the 91st. After a series of close calls, interesting investigations, and a few picked pockets to increase their wealth, the group had gone on a wide shopping trip, ranging across the dry streets of Solni, of sunlit Solni. Primarily, the group spent their modest wealth on magical items that they had kind of secured by trading for them a little bit at a shop known as Calisan's Curios, where they met Hasicles and learned of Calisan's toad-like mental state. They also met Artemis there, a badly disfigured pure white tiefling reveler who was wearing a strangely lopsided black reveler's mask. She begged Hasicles and the party to help her purchase a pair of magical prosthetic eyes to replace her missing ones. In the end, she was only able to get one, but did at least restore some of her sight. It also seemed strangely that she was unable to speak more about what had happened to her, how she got into that state, and it was distressing her quite a bit. Hasicles guessed that she was under a bit of a geas, or other similar compulsion, or limiting spell, preventing her from speaking on the topic, or who had placed it under, or anything like that. He offered to investigate further, and sort of took a little bit of time chasing after her, thanks to the cackler, but she did agree to return later for Hasicles to give her condition a magical inspection. Early on in the exchange, Flo had slipped out to find Captain Blackmist's body back at the warehouse, and had discovered a heavily shadecloth-covered individual who was carting away, and who had sort of dark purplish skin, who was wheeling away a covered cart full of things, sort of lumpy. Eventually, Flo followed this individual to the southern exiting gate of the city, where the individual seemed to bribe the gate official to kind of look the way about the wheelbarrow and its contents. Seemed to have booked a southern-ranging caravan to travel upon with these supplies. Flo wanted to get a better look at the situation and kind of staged a fall onto the situation. Kind of was mixed with modest success, hearing a kind of hissing noise coming from the lumpy covered material. Not too long into the shopping day as a whole, the group was also sort of accosted and rounded up by a Soulsguard commander, and was told to visit the very warehouse that Flo wanted to investigate, which had now been wiped clean. There they had a meeting with a projection of the Shining Hand, Pulessa Fane herself, who heard their side of the story regarding the missing lumens several turnings ago, and told them not to worry about Terraflee's threats or offers. Fane offered the group a new deal. To go and gather information about the missing lumens in Shadveer and the Cove's Key, Night Cove region, figuring out why the Cove's Key took them in the first place, if they plan on selling them to the Shadveeran government, why they took partially filled lumens rather than filled ones of the three. I am struggling to talk today, and also to figure out what, in general, the South has in mind for them. She offered the group 20 platinum and the promise of further wealth and sort of legal leeway in the future in exchange for their support. The group, Fane also implied many local concerns that were kind of cropping up sort of with the Chillbloom Agency and her stretched resources with the Flicker attacks, she stressed the importance of the group's silence on this whole matter. She also asked that if the group accepted, that they investigate the city of Nurwall, while they were also down in the Southern Reach, where several of her agents have gone missing, and all the intelligence sort of has halted from that region in the past 9 turnings. She kind of left it up to you in the order in which you guys wanted to do that, but she definitely prioritized the, Shadveer, Night Cove, Cove's Key, Lumen situation, and the other stuff was kind of a bonus if you were able to do it. And she promised additional reward based on your additional compliance with these other tasks. After only a little debate, the party accepted and happily took the money from the now-revealed Feint agent, F4, who was masquerading as the Soulsguard commander who rounded them up in the first place. With more to think about and research to do, the group commissioned some magic items and mundane weaponry, and hit the library and bookstore to search for some more information. They made some purchases and some browsing of other books that they sort of debated purchasing to get some more information about some of the more unusual subjects of this land or unknown details in its history. Finally, stopping off at the Dove's Tail, Anetka met Olivia Trebleton, and purchased some magical gear for her unique brand of magic, while also noting the sort of wondrous magical apparel that Olivia makes, and also a very unusual and grand tapestry there that she felt one member of her party might be particularly interested in. So we are picking up at the sort of last couple hours in the 89th turning. You guys are sort of... Most of you have reconvened from... We'll say you guys have reconvened at the Kelnara Manor after you guys' visitations to the various stores in a disparate order and stuff like that. You guys have kind of reconvened and are sharing what you made purchases of, 8 pieces of information that you want to follow up on, and stuff like that. So take it away, guys. What's everyone doing?
So Slate went to the yarn store. It was fun, grand, everything yarn store should be. But that you don't care. Anyway, there was this tapestry, and it sounded... You know how you've talked to us about those weird dreams?
Yeah. I mean, I could be more loquacious if you want, but I thought ye.
Yeah. Yes.
Suffice, but sorry.
It kind of... It looks like maybe one of the cities you had seen in that, and I tried to question the owner about it, and it seemed like he didn't remember.
Oh, that is strange. Let's take a look.
Yeah? Yes. Do we want to discuss anything else before we go yarn store to the yarn store?
What day is it? Sorry.
Like I said, it's the last couple... You don't have to worry about the light dwindling or anything like that, but the last couple hours of the turning before normally you would kind of be thinking about heading to take it easy and kind of closure of the day. People are ending their workday.
That's what I mean, yeah. Is the store still open at this point?
Possible, but it probably wouldn't be for much longer. So if you want to do last-minute things today, or this turning, now is the time.
Yeah. We want to go right quick and then come back?
Sounds good. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll go right quick.
Okay.
Do I need a chaperone? I feel like we might. So if we want to get out of there quickly.
Why are you looking at me?
I mean, I went there by myself, and I only have 3 gold left, so I can't really buy anything. So we'll be fine.
Oh, perfect. Let's go then.
Alrighty. So back to, I'm assuming you guys go to the Dove's Tail again?
Yeah. We go to the other place with the mysterious tapestry that
Well, I mean, it has 2 sides. Remember, it has the Yawning Yarn side and the Dove's Tail side. Yeah. So if you wanted to check out the other side, you can do that.
Yeah. Yes, I will, but after the Dove's Tail.
Okay. Sounds good. Let me do this real fast and go like this. Okay. So you head on back in, and the sort of cling cling of the little bell tingling, and you see the halfling male, kind of looking as if, for a human, he'd be in his late 60s, balding, kind of bigger ears, tufty hair. That remains. Oh, just about to close up. What brings you back? Nice to see you.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, you've cleared me out all my money, but my friend here, I was telling him all about your tapestry, which is exquisite, and he was just dying to come see it.
Oh, well, there it is. I don't know what else to say. Sometimes just inspiration strikes, and I just have to do it. Understand? You're a tall fellow over there.
Yeah, he can go up to my kneecap.
Yeah, probably something like that.
So yeah, tapestry. Do I see it?
You do. You look at the tapestry and you see again this broad, wide range of it's actually several interwoven tapestries that look like they were kind of piecemealed together over time. But it depicts like a vast, beautiful, sprawling city. Like I said when Anetka was there, it sort of at first glance seems similar to Solni. But on closer inspection, you can see the architecture is sort of grander and older looking. There's no seams in any of the buildings. It seems like it's completely seamless, without any like brick or mortar or anything like that. Like it was carved from one big piece or whatever. Amidst the streets and towers, you also see 9 reaching and glorious lighthouses that gleam across the landlocked city. It sort of creates a brilliant lighting effect all over the place. The buildings are a little bit more like in geometric shape, with like different faces and facets on the buildings for some of them. But there's sort of like a column style, and the brilliant light shining from them is almost like a little minute sun. And as you're looking up on them, you kind of get a amused peeking of interest kind of in the back of your head. And you get just sort of like a coldly cheerful, perhaps not quite so grand nowadays. A shame, truly.
Where? Mentally.
You did not get a verbal response. Well, I'm just clearing up. Would you like to make a purchase? So you can always come back tomorrow. It'll still be there, probably.
Yes. I think probably once I get a little more money, I'll make sure you're the one who clears it.
I appreciate your business.
Yes.
We fellow weavers gotta stick together, you know?
Yep, for certain. Those who knit together, stick together.
Well, yes, if we knitted together, that would be hard to move.
Didn't like that.
In any case, Slate, while you're there, is there anything else you wanted to do? You're looking in front of this. You just got that brief, thing and it went away.
I mean, if that's all I'm getting from it, I'd probably just
Okay.
ponder existence and leave.
Yes.
As you normally do.
As you know.
You look a little pale, fellow. Get some more sun time out there.
I'm always pale, but thank you.
Well, I mean no offense. I just mean you look a little peaked, like you need a little more rest or something. Like you saw a ghost.
Something like that. Heard a ghost, one of the two.
Oh well,
It's just your complexion.
it's none of my business. None of my business. You're very kind.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Off you go.
Yes,
He's kind of sweeping the store and in your direction a little bit.
yes, I will see you later, or my parents will.
Yes, probably.
That is the
goodbye.
honest threat I have ever heard.
Ta-ta!
No, that's not a threat. That's like
I've
legitimate.
met your mother.
No threats.
That's a
promise.
threat.
They've already been customers in the store.
Oh, it's customers. Okay.
That's
I
customers.
thought you were gonna
No,
No,
what?
never mind. That's
Why would I be threatening this man? All he has done is sold me on.
Maybe you can get it at prices. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you can get it for cheaper if he's not alive.
All right, so you head on back. I mean, that's
You ever
true.
do the cackle in the back of your head?
All
like,
the time.
acting like a bad
All
influence?
the time.
It's like this thing right here.
Fleecing the poor, anger the bees.
So you guys head on back to the Kelnar Manor. Is anyone else wanted to do last minute shop things? Did you want to do the returning of the clothes? Or would you rather say that for the next turning?
I think I would want to get it done and over with.
Okay.
I'll go with.
Okay.
Okay, so the two of you are going with?
I didn't even know those clothes are even mine.
Renasus will go as well.
Okay.
Let's go.
No, it's just-
Artificial party.
Let me go to that section.
Can't leave Renasus and Trips alone. Just can't.
So you guys, it's, kind of along the way, on your way back up, you probably would have made this stop off maybe while they're going back up to Dove's Tail. And you go to the Tradestone ward, sort of nearing the Glint Top ward, those two areas kind of where they meet, and find togas, tunics, and try-ons. Like before, it seems, like with the Dove's Tail, it seems like this is a closing up shop kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
But you see the burly, very dark-skinned and dark-haired dwarf behind the counter, who seems to be tidying up and stuff like that, but does seem to note your guys' approach and sort of sets down what he's doing and like sets his elbows on the bar and just kind of waits for you guys to come in.
Kind of walk up and just like they're unfolded, they're unwashed, they're wrinkled, and just kind of like a pile of stuff on the table on the bar. Turning these.
See that. It's good that you're coming back with good tidings, as it were. I mean, it seems that our rare opportunity paid off quite nicely, as it were. Folian has been, I'm not sure if you heard, but he has been heading back to his connections in Lunavir. It's good to see him gone from our city, but I best say we keep our eyes open. He's not one to forgive or forget a grudge, if you take my meaning.
Meeting taken. We kind of gathered that ourselves.
I imagined and thought you might, but it's good to reiterate.
Well, we appreciate what you did for us. We will be heading out of town shortly. If there's anything that we can do to help repay that favor.
At the moment, I will consider it an investment and let you know should anything come and arrive. But our mutual friend sends his regards as well. He says you may perhaps find him on your journey when least expected. He's been known to travel quite far and wide in this part of the world.
Yeah, it's good to know. A little ominous, but good to know.
Well, that's a nice combination to strike, I would think.
I'm gonna kind of like just obviously I've never met this man in my life, so I'm just gonna walk up next to him and just on a piece of paper write, "Who is this mutual friend?" Slap on the table and slide it across.
Ah, this must be one of your missing compatriots.
Yes, this is the cackler.
Charmed, I'm Julius Nakavir, at your service. Well, more or less. But in any case,
The cackler at your service, and that is exactly.
they might be able to fill you in on the details a little bit more. I wouldn't want to say it so openly, but suffice to say that an individual I occasionally coordinate with had cause to also put a few needles in the bedding of this Folian the Fox character who assailed you and your other allies.
Sounds like a tasteful character.
I would agree.
Well, we'll tell you about later, chirps.
But for now, I would say it's fair enough that you are heading on your way. It's probably not a bad idea, given the thick of the plottingings these days.
Well,
Sounds better in my native tongue.
Gently encouraged to leave. Maybe not so gently encouraged to leave.
The folk of Solni have a tendency to do that when their commodities are threatened.
Well, thank you again.
I will, like I said, consider it a long-term investment.
We may return before we leave for some clothing, but I'm not sure what the rest of us are doing. So.
Well, I wouldn't mind a little stop-off, little visit, get some, get the mail, water the plants, and so much, get some information. But I would say keep your eyes sharp if you're going south, if you're going anywhere, or staying here. Frankly, times are being a little bit more shaky. But for now, enjoy the Midyear's turning celebration, if you're staying that long.
I will give him a traditional greeting, I'm not sure what the traditional wish would be for Happy Midyear's turning, but I will do that.
Happy Midyear's turning is fine.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or joyous turnover, although that's used mostly in the new year.
Gotcha, okay. Happy Midyear turning to you as well. And,
Yes.
well, I don't know.
So I'm told that the Radiant Archon herself will be making an appearance.
Joyful.
Well, we'll see what she has to say. It's a rare occasion when she leaves the high soul seat, Castle Radia, and all that.
Sounds like it could be an exciting event. Maybe we'll stick around long enough to see it.
Probably worthwhile seeing, but who's to say? Take care.
Thank you.
So you head on out. With, less immediate calling in of favors than you might have expected, but still, like a sense of completion to that, at least, exchange.
Lena feels better.
He certainly appreciated you doing that before you left,
Yes.
rather than absconding with his clothes. So you head on back to Kelnara Manor, and you've done what you wanted to do. Flo, did you want to do anything?
She tired.
Still got the exhaustion, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Before we get to Galara Manor, I will disguise self as, like, before we get to that whole area, I'm going to disguise self as just another common folk, just minding my own business.
okay, yeah.
Pickpocket someone else.
You do that.
No, I'm just trying to avoid the one that I did pickpocket.
You do that, yep. No problem. Make a perception check. Just everyone returning to the.
That's true.
No, yeah. We'll just have you two make it. That's fine.
That is 12 plus 18 for me.
Yeah. You guys definitely notice that like brass knuckle wielding dwarf,
No.
like kind of like clocking like the people who are moving around this street and stuff like that. But doesn't seem to be like asking any questions or anything like that. But does clearly seem to be like interested in who's moving around and things like that. And you don't notice the sort of like frantic noblewoman who's causing a lot of fuss. So he's a little bit less obvious. But with that role, you would have been like on the mark to know what was going on.
Are there any people walking, like, in the direction that they would, like, closely pass this dwarf?
Not as much as you might think. So Jules Ward is pretty like manicured, more wandery, like meandering kind of streets, and they tend to be less frequently crowded and stuff like that. So you're not noticing too much of that. He's just sort of like posted up near a shop, kind of like observing and looking around. He's casually like strolling by. He's not just like posted up and waiting. He's like strolling by and stuff like that. But he's relatively easy to mark off, you know.
Yeah. I was just wondering if there was going to be, like, anyone that just coincidentally was going to be walking past him.
Not immediately.
Not walking towards him.
I mean, on the same street, there's a couple other people passing by.
And we're walking in the opposite direction of them right now?
Yeah.
I'm going to get rid of this coin, man. Okay. I'm gonna, so... Oh god, this is gonna go really well or really poorly.
It's a good start to a sentence in the D&D campaign.
Yeah. So... Okay, picture this as a road we're on right here on the map.
Uh-huh.
So...
Yeah.
Right?
Quite
Let's say dwarf fellows around where this brown, the mini one is.
Uh-huh.
And we're walking this way.
Mm-hmm.
There's someone walking towards us this way.
Mm-hmm.
When we pass someone that is like about to intercept them, probably like 15-20 feet away from them, if possible, I'm gonna try to trip into them as well. But now I'm not gonna take anything from them. I'm going to simply place something onto them.
Okay.
First pickpocket.
Got it. Okay, so I'm gonna have you do. Okay, I'm gonna have you do. It's gonna be a sleight of hand check to do the reverse pickpocketing.
Yep.
The fall is gonna be a performance check. So do the performance check first. The person you're getting close to is a what looks like an Azamar individual. Based on the sort of like coppery gold skin human.
That's sick. Okay.
And they've got sort of like golden motes around their eyes.
Oh man, I might want to reverse pickpocket and pickpocket this one.
So they're wearing like a classic Greek style toga, and then they have sort of like a necklace of some kind of like purplish leaf.
Yep. All right, so performance first.
Performance first, because you're seeing how well you're able to sell the fact that you're just tripping rather than.
13?
13? Okay. It's sort of like a little bit less immediately obvious. But they seem to be preoccupied with other stuff that they've got kind of going on or things that they've got in their heads. And kind of shuffling like this series of tightly wrapped scrolls that are in their like sash around their waist. So they're kind of got like a hand on that. But you sell it more or less, and just sort of like, oh, excuse me, I am so sorry about that. I did not see you there. And she's sort of trying to like lift you back up. So then go ahead and do your sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Roll well.
You can definitely tell the dwarf is like clocking this.
Sleight of hand. We're fine here, folks. It's gonna be a 22.
Okay, yeah, you feel successfully confident that you find the money pouch and are just like, dink.
Cool.
Do not pickpocket them.
Oh, I wasn't gonna do that.
Are you well, sir? It seemed that you had a bit of a tumble. Are you alright? Perhaps I could escort you the rest of the way to your destination.
I'm gonna.
Did
I can't speak.
do Tennille or Renasus clock
you're both
any of
like right
this?
next
Yeah, I mean, you're not too far from him. Renasus leans over. This is going to go interesting.
I'm just gonna kind of make some old man noises from Renostus and rest, and I'm just gonna kind of.
Yes, I really think that's good for you. Go on.
Yep.
I'll
okay.
turn around and
And
kind of
I
like
keep
put
going.
my arm around him and like lead him away. Like, come on, let's get you.
Oh, good. You've got a little bit of assistance. Always good to help the elderly. Good day to you. Soul's light be upon you. Yes, I really do think it's good to help the elderly, says Renostus as he's like walking in as well. So you guys return to Colnara Manor.
As we're coming back. So of course some people knit baby clothes out of like magically enhanced fibers because they think it's safer. But if your baby is on fire, wool will just burn while magically inclined clothes will just melt on, and it's just a ridiculous argument, and I think they should really change those standards.
So wait, if the clothes are magical and they're melting into the child, is the child magical?
That's a great question, but I mean, they're probably dead.
More tests needed.
Or is it just melting the child?
God, I'm making you laugh.
Laugh. Exasperation given form. One of the two.
And I will tell you guys about those debates later. Anyway.
So you make it back. All of you.
Yes. But again, wool baby clothes, they're much better. Or cotton, we are in Solni, so cotton's probably the better fiber, it's lighter. Oh, no.
What about silk?
Oh, silk. I mean, it's very expensive for a baby, but, you know, if you like your baby that much, I guess.
I hear people like them, but... Goodness me, I don't know what that was.
You return to Colnara Manor and it feels kind of empty. Feeling kind of get the sense that it's less occupied. There's no Lutheus to greet you at the door. No peep or anything like that, or sign of Uncle Galen, at least in the immediate receiving area, as you enter back into through the front sort of grand doors and see the nice marble of the space. But you return. Is there anything you guys wanted to do before like bedding down and getting to the next turning? You're all together again, by the way.
FYI, before we saw the shiny lady, I definitely saw a super shady guy walking out of that warehouse that we spent some time in. And he had a cart, and I kind of might have followed him to the front gates, and he might have like tried to bribe himself out, and definitely bribed himself out, and had something real sketchy in his cart that went.
Oh,
That's very descriptive,
that's
Blue.
a lot. Well, that's a lot of things you noticed. Do you know where he is going?
South.
Out of
No.
the city, yeah.
Well, coincidentally, we're going in that direction soon.
That's
That
a
makes-
whole,
yeah, perfect.
I'm only-
There's a lot going
not
south.
Your problem is what my piece of paper says.
Yeah. Well, also that rat might have been for whatever that was hissing.
No, we're
Oh, it was like an animal, not a mechanical hiss.
It was writhing
Like that.
under the cart
Well, didn't-
because I ran into it.
What do you mean you ran into it?
I tripped.
Our group is developing a troubling, recurring problem of falling into things they want to investigate. I'm wondering if that's going to be our trademark. Maybe we should be the Tipsy Bees.
Oh, right fucking mess indeed.
Good job there, Blue, on the reconnaissance. But didn't we talk about somebody mentioned snakes, that
Snick.
our dead rats were food for snakes. Did you hear
They
snakes?
seemed pretty snaky, but I didn't get my eyes on them.
Mildly snaky. You're right.
They seemed pretty snaky.
But I didn't get my eyes on them. Snakes, not like lizards.
I mean,
Oh, maybe
it could be
lizards.
lizards, I suppose.
Okay, well, I mean, that's good information to have.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a good time we're all together and we're all awake to maybe talk about our next plans and maybe talk about some things to prevent certain people from being kidnapped again. Maybe, and he's like
I'm holding
staring
a piece of paper. Of whom are you referring?
Renastus is watering both of his plants.
Also, a lot of my money's probably at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh,
You have more money.
You have more money.
Well, I did.
It's
No,
like
it's not the ocean. Yeah.
yeah.
Why,
Alright, so we'll circle back to that, because I think I know what that's about. Alright.
why did you stop that there?
That was my choice.
So, from
Thank you,
my
Anna,
perspective,
Get to my bed.
if we are a gang, as it were, I've spent we are the Beewildered are a gang. Let's face it.
We are a gang.
Oh God, I'm giving him all sorts of new phrases. There's some trust within the gang amongst the members. Okay, I can't protect
honor
your back.
among bees, if you will.
Honor among bees.
Honor among bees.
And he kind of like lightly cuffs Anika on the back of the head.
I'm so... Okay, and as he's saying this, she's gonna start mouthing along. She's heard this one a few times.
We cannot protect one another if we don't know who we're protecting from. And if this kidnapping scenario is going to happen again, if you have enemies, you need to tell us. I don't know how to keep you safe if you don't tell me what to keep you safe from.
Well, we definitely got rid of one of my big ones, so I guess we could.
Well, enough.
One. Are there more?
Well, I mean, there was Voltland. He's still around.
Yeah, Foxfellow's still out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd safe to say that I think he's all of our concern now.
Yeah. Yes. That.
But I mean, aside from our strange furry friend, is there anyone else in your past that we should be on the lookout for? You seem to be very jumpy of late. Is there a particular reason besides bullying the fox, or is there somebody else who's coming after you? We've heard about the explosive devices.
I'm gonna hold that piece of paper that says I jumped because it's the closest I can get to flying.
Well, that is very depressing, but kind of inspiring.
This is
I
not
can
to
totally
pry
get that.
and to demand your secrets, but if we're going to be traveling together, and it sounds like we're going to be going into some dangerous places, it's good to know what to watch out for.
Here.
If I'm looking for more pirates, or I'm looking for I don't even know who would be after you. Everyone is after you apparently. It's just a heads up. A heads up is helpful. You're getting like exasperated parent vibes here, of like the dad who's not angry, he's just disappointed.
I'm just holding that piece of paper. I'm as confused as you.
Insight check.
Alright, roll insight.
You can roll insight on a piece of paper.
You made a statement. Whether or not you vocalized, it's another matter.
Yeah, you can
Can
see.
I roll deception? If you roll
Yeah,
I can't tell what
you
that
can roll a
That is a
deception.
3. I don't think you need to roll deception.
Let's go. I deceived you.
You did.
Good?
You seriously told me the truth?
Go ahead. No, go Flo. What do you want to say?
No, finish.
I didn't have anything. I was
okay. I would say I've come across many people, and I've been on many ships that I should or should not have been on. And she's gonna kind of like scratch just one particular part of her arm, and then
I'm gonna kind of poke it as you're scratching.
but she's like subconsciously doing it. It's not actually like
Oh, man.
Anyway, so I wouldn't know if there's other people after me.
Have you not judging, but do you have any more stolen merchandise on your person at this time that the government or pirates or other people might be looking for?
So just like just this one.
well. I have to say that's quite an interesting development, in my opinion. That this was a experimental device. I'm curious how you came by it.
Oh, this was blackness. This wasn't fun.
Well, I'm curious how Black Mist came
Is that
by
why
it.
he
Did
was
he
looking
say?
for you?
Nicholas, do I have any? I don't recognize this device, right?
Her pistol?
Yeah.
Not particularly, no.
Okay.
Well, at any rate, I would imagine that we're not going to be going much along the coastline? Do we have a route, as it were? I like routes.
I think that is maybe our third discussion point. I want to circle back to the ship and your treasure. The ship. You lived on that ship that blew up?
Pirates, so we like booty, and there was a lot of booty on that ship. Which is like, that's
Thank God I
normal
already have
terms.
booty
That's
on my name.
she's totally unfazed by saying
It was a
I
ruffalo
like
ship.
every accent now, so.
That was my job.
I mean, what was on the ship when you left? Is there stuff we can use? Is there stuff we can sell? I mean, we have a journey ahead of us if we're going to do this thing for the Shining Hand.
I mean, we could check Black Mist's quarters. I know he collected a lot of things, and he obviously loved experimental things. And there's
You get kind of like you feel like a kind of a yearning in the cackler's eyes when you say experimental things.
and I should have said like, I might have a means to get down there, but
It's also a bit macabre, but I'm pretty sure that was a whole ship of pirates. And I don't think any of them made it off.
wouldn't be the first time.
That's depressing.
I
but-
was like,
But extra loot.
We
but how-
have
yeah.
Do we have
Extra
the
booty.
time to go there? And it was a bit of a rowing journey the last time.
Have you seen these arms?
Well, yes, and it's not very modest of you to say, but
well, that brings us to our next
we have more
point,
people to go with this time.
is
Unless shit
when should we leave and where should we go first? We were given 2 missions, as it were, one to Shadvir, and one to Nurwal. I don't think it's wise for us to tell anyone where we're actually going. We should.
yeah,
Maybe
don't trust anyone.
maybe your uncle and my parents, just
But when we're shopping and we're purchasing supplies, I think maybe we should, if asked, we're going to Flywatch. Or somewhere in that vicinity.
I believe it was called Lander Hall. Flywatches, it's sort of a derogatory name. I think we discovered that. I prefer not to use. I'm just saying.
Okay.
If we're going to the south, we don't want to offend Southerners.
This is true. This is very true. But my thought is we could go to... Well, Brody is in Lunenburg, but he's not... I'm not sure I want to see Brody right now.
Oh, I would quite like to see
But
Brody
Folian
and-
is in Lunenburg.
Yes.
That's not a great idea.
Maybe
But if-
let's not go that direction.
But we went to Lander Hall and bought clothes, because obviously we don't want to wear this get-up in Shadvir. It'll stick out terribly.
As opposed to here, where we blend right in.
I don't know. I feel like I'd be pretty alright personally.
I mean, I think once I am in the proper clothing, I will fit in just fine in Shadvir, as will probably you, and you, and you. Maybe not so much you two, but...
Well, I like to think I'm well dressed anyway.
You're well dressed, but, you know, anyway. So the other part of this is where do we want to go first, and when do we want to leave?
I would like to stay for the Midyear's turning, especially since I've been leaving my parents for a while. It'd be nice to have a
Well, I
nice
know,
holiday.
like a few of us have stuff being made special order, right? So might as well stay till we get those.
Sweet.
So,
I can tell you for a fact I will not be leaving before I get
speaking of, figuring out locations where we want to go, this is going to sound real weird, because it is, but I've been having these funky dreams, and one of them was like this weird, like, pillar city. It had 9 lighthouses, apparently. It was in a similar light bend to where we're at now, maybe a little bit more southern. And this is going to bounce sound even weirder, but I swear a voice told me, in my head mind you, that this city was probably not like that anymore, meaning it's like probably ruins. So if we could find that ruined city, there's something there.
Just as a point of clarification, in your dream there were not lighthouse pillars. That was on the tapestry.
Yeah, that's what I said, apparently.
Okay.
That's not the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
It's up there, personally.
'Cause
Have any of us seen these types of pillars?
Or heard of a city with 9 lighthouses.
Or just
Make a
big
history check.
ruin. Can we all make?
Sure.
Roll well,
I don't know.
roll well. Oh, why?
Don't fail me now, guys.
We all failed you. The look on Sarah's face tells me we all failed you.
I mean,
Megas are only hope.
But I'm a wizard with a proficiency in history, so I'm fine.
Okay.
18.
Okay. Cackler.
Nice.
Actually, I am proficient at 7.
No, okay.
I am proficient, but I rolled a nat 1, so
I rolled a 2.
Okay.
What do I know about pillars?
They exist.
You and Renostus rolled quite well, but Renostus got above a 20. So what you would know, at least in this case, is you know that there are, like in Lamp Isle and Saltstone here, there are lighthouses that are built in Solni as a kind of, some kind of solar magic focal, you're not quite sure. It's not something that's readily accessible, but it's some kind of solar magic, like basically sun lasers that defend the city from the coast side, from pirate attack and stuff like that. This is why pretty much no one tries to raid directly on Solni from the water. You've not heard of a city with 9 of these situations. You also don't know of many cities that would fit the description of what Slate's talking about in this light band at all. So not actually a lot, given the good roll. Renostus, all he has to add from that is, well, I would say that when we were looking in that bookstore, we came across some stuff about old Duovia. That might be the ruins that we are talking about, since I gather that Duovia was the civilization that predated Sanctus, and some of its heritages cross over, from my understanding at least. So that might be a place to start. I don't really know too much more about it, to be honest.
Yeah, thanks for the input, Ren. I didn't even know that much.
I do what I can.
And I mean, the Lorbright program is paying extra for information about Duovia, so
let's recap missions just so we have it. So the scary gnome lady wants us to go to Nirwal,
yeah.
Nirwal, to search out lumens, and
So hang on, just to clarify, the lumens she strongly implied were along the Night Cove and Shadvir.
Right.
Nirwal was where some of
Frogs.
her agents. No,
Yeah.
that was in a different part of the world.
opposite direction.
Yeah, Nirwal was where several of her agents had gone missing, and all intelligence had kind of not been going on. So just to clarify here, I don't know if this is going to show up for if everyone can see or if you want me to hand it out. But so you guys are up here in Solni. You guys are up here in Solni. Shadvir is down here. It's the capital of the Shaded Reach, right? And the Night Cove is this region of water south of that. Nirwal is over here. And, yeah, so that's kind of the situation. You guys are talking about Lunavir, that's here, and then its other twin border city along the sort of sunset-y band of light here is Flywatch, also known as Landerhall. Flywatch, or Landerhall, is part of the Shaded Reach, and Lunavir is technically part of the Radiant Reach, although both kind of have a little bit of their own autonomy to some degree. As border cities, they kind of serve an important, like, at least non-violent cooperation between the reaches for now. So that's kind of the clarification on that. So if you guys, I can pass this around if you guys want to see in greater detail for map, like, route planning purposes.
I'm going to recommend Nirwal, because that's away from Lunavir, which is where our not-so-friendly friend is. And then go, so then we can investigate whoever's, like, the missing stuff there, and then cut across the Shadvir from there.
Neil has an interest in going to Landerhall, so like maybe you could go to Nirwal and then hit up.
Well, we could go to Landerhall on the way to Nirwal, but I was under the impression, at least, that the sooner we deliver on answers for the Shining Hand, probably the better, particularly in this concern that she has about the lumens in the hands of individuals she's concerned about. If they are going to do something, the sooner we're able to find out about it, the better, I would imagine. But I also am curious about what happened at Nirwal and why it seems that she is of interest there.
My instinct would be to go to Nirwal, see if we can figure. Because potentially figuring out, Shadvir's big city, Bihad, figuring out stuff in Norwal could lead us better when we go to Shadvir, but that's just my...
I think going to Landerhall before Shadvir would be the better way to get information. It sounds like Narwhal is, maybe things are a little messy there?
Well, messy.
That does sound like our thing, yeah.
But in the interest of Slate's strange dreams, maybe we should spend some time researching known ruins?
Mm-hmm. We still have those Lowbright points. I'd either suggest we either use that to maybe research some of stuff in his head, or we could cash them out. So, I'll be honest, I have 3 gold. Spells are expensive. Being a wizard is expensive.
Told you not to spend all of your money. Okay. It's fine.
So,
It's fine.
just as an aside, I was thinking back actually to my dream, we'll say, and I realised that actually the town I saw was probably a slightly different one than the one on the tapestry. Same architecture and all that, but I think the one I saw in my mind was much smaller.
But
So
still,
similar, like very similar, just it felt more like a city, and the one I saw maybe more a town.
Do you think maybe it's possible that we would learn more about, we could find more information in Norwal or Landerhall or Shadvir about these places?
Possibly.
Well, I imagine that we could use this Lowbright to gain some information about the local significance. We could also go and do some more research. That Brentlin, that lady, was quite friendly and had a good, if poorly catalogued, selection of books.
So do any of us own a map?
I have a rough sketched one.
I have one that I borrowed from your uncle. And she like full of
Oh, so we can we have a map we can at least look at for the time being.
Yeah.
But we
You
should,
have the map that you're looking at.
we should maybe buy our own before we leave. That could be
We
helpful.
just said we have this map.
Well, it's not
We're
our.
borrowing
You're
yeah.
borrowing it from Uncle Gavin.
Just borrowing without the intent to return, it's fine.
I like point like that.
Okay.
Where even is your uncle? Why can't you give it back?
I'm not sure.
What are our plans for tomorrow? If once we've got at least another day before the celebration, and then leaving the next turning after that in the new shard, perhaps we ought to make the most of that time resting up and doing some research. That way we can better have a good idea of where to go first. We might not know what has happened in Nearwall if all information has gone sideways, but it might be something that we can at least make a stab at.
well, we could raid a pirate ship.
Or we could do that.
Great diversion.
Maybe I hate to split us, but some people could do some research and some people could raid a pirate ship.
I mean, if talking about my research, it wouldn't take too long. Just go buy the book and read it overnight.
That's true.
Well, we also should do some route planning. How long do you think it would take to loot your ship?
So you remember it was about a turning round trip in terms of just getting there.
Just getting
That was with some pretty high slate rolls there.
Right.
On his athletics for rowing. And then obviously it would be dependent on how far it takes to get down to the ship, how far it sunk, how deep those waters were.
So how it's splintered.
Yeah,
Also,
how
it'd be
dispersed
cold and
everything.
dark down there. And
yeah. So you're probably, roughest estimate would probably be, my roughest estimate would be about 2 turnings, but we seem to have that if we're okay with being late to the celebrations. If we go now,
Doesn't really bother me, honestly.
it's up to you. I
If we
don't
go
know.
now.
Well, I mean, it's a bit of a journey. If we are splitting up, of course.
Alternatively, we can do everything we want to, see the celebration, go raid the pirate ship, and leave.
No.
That would set us back a
Gonna be-
few turnings.
If no one else is going to come swim with me, then I need more rest.
Well, I might be able to brew something that could allow one of or two of us to be able to breathe water for a time. For a
Sounds
time.
great.
perhaps an hour. I'd have to recheck my notes.
I can help somebody see in the dark for an hour, but
So it would depend largely on how deep this ship has fallen, and if anyone else has taken over its occupation.
Then we also need to get there. I could probably secure us a boat.
Don't you have a rowboat on the patch cloak?
There's shiny loot down there.
And when we're done, we can either sell it or hunt it.
I vote sell it. I'm not sure that we wanted to pay for the mooring space.
I was thinking more like we just hide it over here in the manor.
I don't think my uncle would appreciate
Toss in
that.
the
Just
library.
I
Just
think we
carry
are
a
pushing
boat.
our limits as it is here.
I feel like we passed that point a while back, but yeah.
Sure. Piss on it. Yeah, I'll allow my boat to be used like that.
I mean,
As a boat.
we
thank
could
you.
we
to
could.
get more money that you could buy more boats.
Yes.
It's a rowboat.
I mean, do we think that
You
all of
can
us
get a
need
better
to
rowboat.
go to the boat? If it's a potential of Renastus giving us water breathing, so maybe you and I, because I can give you dark
Check how long
vision.
that'll go.
Two of us, maybe Tiny here to help us row.
I'm pretty sure I'm reclined.
Yeah. So the cackle and I would stay back and research, unless he wants to loot.
I would be interested in researching as well, although
Could you brew the potions?
I'm not sure. I would have to check, see how long. I mean, they'll go for about a turning, but my water breathing that I could make would only last 10 minutes, so it's not going to be supremely useful unless you perhaps chained them together, which you could do, but it would limit the number of people who could go. My biggest concern, sorry to continue, I just am worried about what other things in the cold, dark ocean might have occupied the space, or other looters, as it were. Finders, keepers, I say.
Well, that's a good point. We don't know. I mean, especially with the harpies gone, a predator leaves the ecosystem, and then suddenly there's urchins everywhere. Not the sea type of urchins, not.
There's also options everywhere.
I mean, how worth it would be you and I going down there, and no offense, but we're not the.
I want to go down.
Well, I suppose yeah, or it could be you, but
That sounds sweet.
my point being, how much should we risk our lives for what's down there?
We could scout it out before going down.
Would you be able to see what's in it from the surface?
No.
Probably not. Depends on how far it's gone. But you can't, there's no, you wouldn't be able to see hundreds of feet in the water.
I mean, we could also get money from low bright points and get a little
That
more,
certainly is the safer route, but less
or
exciting.
ask for a loan from your uncle.
I'd rather not.
I know, but it might be better than. I am a wizard and I'm poor.
You need infinite amounts of money. We're ignoring that.
Oh yeah,
But I also only have 3.
so amongst us, what do we need for the road? That's a better question.
Gate tax.
Gate tax?
Rations for we don't really know how long.
Water for my plants.
Water
I can help you with that.
Oh, very kind. That's very nice. Perhaps you can make up for that horrid bee incident. Oh, the nerve.
I mean, I don't want more money. I'll help you with happy. I'll cover his eyes.
Do the arm push. Or elbow gets really
Does anyone else need armor or weapons?
I might be able to concoct a few more. It's something I was interested in working on, to be honest. If you're not, if we're able to, I might be able to put together a kind of brewing companion. But we'll see. I've got an idea about a few things. But for that, I would need some resources, 100 gold at least.
I don't know if we have 100 gold between all of us right now.
Don't you have quite a bit? You did not. I'm not sure that I spent that much.
I don't have 100 gold.
But altogether, we might be able to benefit the party. It's up to you guys, but anyway.
What about you, Chirps? We haven't, you've been awfully quiet.
We could sell off more equipment from the cloak if we really need to.
I pour.
Insight check.
Roll an insight check.
I'm being honest.
Oh, Tennille doesn't know that because I don't think anyone was with you when you went to buy your mask.
That's
No.
valid.
I'm gonna say 16 plus a 6, 22.
Seems pretty honest to you. Well, I think we at least have a basic idea that we want to start with some research. I might prefer to... We could just read on the way over if we're rowing.
So I'm just going to put out a piece of paper. Seasickness.
Do you get seasick?
I pull it back. I'm a raven, not a seagull.
Do you live in the bay? Then you'd be a bagel.
If you were a bear, you'd be unbearable.
I take that as a compliment. I'm not a bear, though.
Yeah, what exactly are you?
I'm a furbolg.
What is that?
Me!
What is a Goliath?
Any more than what is a human or a person. We are all people. In any case, what is our plan for tomorrow before we get mired in philosophical talk? Next turning, I think we should go where first?
Well, we could.
Just buy the book and start rowing.
Do we want to spend 2 full turnings
Are we
looting
in
a
such a
ship?
hurry where we can't?
Well, no, but with limited resources,
Well,
can
get
we
all resources.
get to the bottom of the sea and find the boat and find supplies and get those things back up to our tiny boat and bring them back to town without somebody arresting us or mugging us?
Yeah, do we want to risk separating the, in air quotes, gang for 2 full turnings with everyone that's after us?
That is what I am most concerned about, so I would rather...
If we go,
It's all or nothing.
Well, I don't want to go.
Should we vote?
Let's vote.
Let's vote.
Who would like to go?
Money sounds nice. Just 2 of us?
I'm a little curious, but I'll abstain for now.
That sounds like 2 to 3 then.
2 to 3.
Perhaps we should take the safer route for now. I am sure that we will come across other things in time, if that is the will of the voted group.
Yes, and pending. I mean, it also depends how many people really saw that ship go down. We could also, at some point, explore it later.
I have the strangest feeling that if we don't go now, it's never going to happen.
Is that the voice in your head?
There's a feeling in my gut, actually.
Would you know what?
About things underwater.
What things underwater?
What I know about the
Things
ocean
that would
itself.
live underwater.
Make a general history or survival check.
The fish like shiny things.
I mean,
Metagaming.
9.
I mean, there's plenty of creatures that settle into sunken ships as homes and like caves and stuff like that to live in. There's also plenty of underwater creatures and civilizations that value wealth just as much as the surface ones. Like plenty of underwater creatures that value wealth.
No offense, Blue, but you're still not looking great.
I don't feel great. I wasn't saying we should go now, but side note. Booty.
Side note, booty.
Well, perhaps since we voted, I would say that we should abstain and carry on with our other tasks before as preparation for leaving.
okay. So
I myself have something I would like to do here, so that's why I prefer not to go.
I don't think you ever answered the question. Does anyone else have any enemies coming after them?
None to my knowledge at this moment, except my dragon chess rival.
Feel anyone you don't want to run into other than the twins?
he shoots you a glare.
The twins.
Friends.
No one actually.
Explain.
No one actually dangerous. Might have had a thing for both of them.
He like
They're twins. You naturally
Bria
do.
is totally hearing about what's his face Farrah Flynn the moment
Yeah,
Neil
yeah,
sees her.
yeah.
The moment. So just ignores that. Unless Brody,
Aneka takes out her dagger and starts tapping the hilt on her chin.
unless Brody has made enemies for me, then
That does sound like
Also,
him.
Brody? How do you guys know Brody? Who's Brody?
The gnome with the pimpkin?
Yeah, he's a good dude. He obviously likes the booty too. Can you tell me more about like who he actually is?
I'll hold out a piece of paper. An ex-lover.
What?
Hey, Cacta. I bet your gold I could pump inside of feet.
I'm like measuring how far 30 feet would be. I'll counter offer.
We knew where he was going,
Five
right?
silver.
In Lunavir?
Lunavir.
Well, if we're avoiding there, then by definition we're avoiding him unless he has moved.
Yeah.
Ah, that works. Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't really answer Flo's question.
Um,
You wanna,
Yes, I have the
you do
opportunity.
know
Do we
that.
need to worry about this dude?
I
Are we
know.
okay with this?
He took me in when I came to Solni, and was a very young child, and raised me as best he could. And when I found Anitka, many years later, in the same circumstance, I took her to him, and that's the gist of it.
I respect that.
Fascinating. Well, I'm tired. Let's go to bed.
Same.
One other thing now, Nadia's from Shadowhere, so it's been quite a few years, but we do have someone we can trust. We can ask weird questions that we might not be able to ask in a library.
All right. So everyone's going to head to bed. Otherwise,
Netco, if Nadia and Bria are home, she'll head up to their room.
yeah, they are home. It seems like they're preparing a few. Like before, you had seen them preparing a few like celebratory things. It looks like they've got the sort of classic Midyear's turning celebration attire that they've been knitting themselves and stuff like that, which is classic to have two-sided clothing that you turn inside out once the turning has shifted over.
So does everyone just strip all at once?
It's usually like a coat or an outerwear. It's not like that. So they're doing. It seems like they've been working hard on doing that. And Nadia's like, "Oh, good, little Weaver, how was your shopping trip? Did you have a good day?"
Yes, it was good. Went to the Dove's Tail.
Oh, I haven't been on that side. The Yawning Yarn was quite nice though, and Olivius was quite the gentleman.
Yeah, he's so sweet.
He annoyed me, says Bria.
Everyone annoys you. Man.
Well, not
Or Mama.
everyone. And she kind of gives like a jostle to Nadia.
At some point, when Fortunio goes up to go to rest, and if the door is still open, he's just gonna stick his head into the room and say, "Anitka's got a boyfriend."
Shut up!
Take off running.
Well, this is
I'll do the same.
is there an echo in this room? You're an older, you're a mature, adult yourself now. Just make sure that you're being careful.
I thought it was not.
Make sure you know the proper cantrips.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I did not. Oh, Aneka. She just turned darker green.
Well,
That's not.
but
I
we
told
don't
her
have
to
to
the
have.
guy to get a boat and.
Bria's like, nice, been there.
Have you been there?
Well, yeah. I mean, you do what you have to do. It's I mean, I socked him later.
This guy was too busy throwing up off of the side of the boat, so.
Been there.
So, he sounds like quite the charmer.
Very
Says
drunk.
Nadia.
Very drunk.
Wait, was that? this happened.
No.
This was when you guys were gone.
Well, it sounds like
So
you had quite an
these guys
adventure.
have to
But are you going to be staying for the Midyear's turning? We've got a garment for you.
You do?
Yeah, we designed it. It's an outer coat here, and we did it in a nice bit of doubling clothes here with a little bit of extra style. And you see, it's a sort of half coat sort of situation. Sleeves kind of go down to the elbows. Kind of got a bit of a flared collar situation going on, and it is like gray on the outside, like a lighter gray on the outside, and on the inside it's a very pale, like sky robin's egg blue, and it has like a golden crossed pair of knitting needles, like as a pattern on the inside of the blue side. So you've got like a sort of more plain outer side with the gray, and then the inside, which you can reverse, is that it's also filled with lots of pockets.
This is that's double knitted, isn't it?
Well, I'm glad you noticed. Yes, we've been working, your mother and I have been working very hard on making sure that we kept up our standards while we're away from the shop. We want to be able to, come back with a vengeance once we're able to, as it were.
This is and she's sort of feeling like different parts of the coat and looking at the.
It seems like it'll breathe, but it's more for heavier kind of weather generally. It seems closer to like a Shadviran fashion than like a Solnian one. And you can see, obviously your parents, from their heritage, they're going to put their finger marks a little bit more on it and stuff like that and kind of bend that direction.
It's exquisite, actually, and more of a Shadviran design.
Well, we wanted you to be prepared. We know, you're off on adventures here and there, and wanted to make sure that you were cozy and warm, and could pass either way. The gray will probably pass anywhere, and can be inconspicuous if you need to be, breaking into any other places. Not that we condone that sort of thing, of course. And Bria's sort of like, well, it depends on the place, if you ask me. But anyway, so
Yes.
we're happy to have you wear it.
Yeah, but so thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, actually great timing. We had a meeting with the Shining Hand herself.
Oh, well, that's quite. What did she say?
We knew that there was some lumens stolen and possibly brought to Shadvir. We had a man try to bribe us and then blackmail us into retrieving them.
Do I need to cut his hands off?
I mean, probably, if I'm being completely honest.
Where do I find him?
I actually don't know. That's the thing, but anyway, but
Nadia's sort of like, Bria, let her finish.
So apparently she had throughout our adventures heard about everything that happened with the Cackler and everything that happened with this idiot Terrafleas. He was flashing gold in the saltfuls in Gretchen's bar.
Sounds like an idiot.
Yes. But basically she caught wind of that and she did. I don't know how she took care of that problem. You might not need to.
Well, she is the Shining Hand.
She's the Shining
I
Hand.
would suggest that you step, and Bria's sort of noticeably shaken. I would ask that you step with extreme care where she is concerned. And if you are wrapped up in whatever she has going on, you best either see it through with sincerity and speed, or else let me know and I will do my best to get you hidden.
Wow. Well, we were planning to head towards the Shaded Reach, probably day after the Midyear's turning.
Oh, wow. Well, that is quite a journey. We will miss you, of course. Is it going to be safe with the sort of tensions and flickers happening? And Bria's sort of like, well, she can take care of herself. We have to let her go. Yes, I suppose so, but...
I mean, frankly, with the tensions rising, I'm not sure it's safe anywhere.
This is a good point. And certainly there have been some unusual goings-on here.
I've never really been outside of the Radiant Reach for all of the life I remember. Do you guys have any, I don't know, travel tips, good restaurants, safety.
Well, yes, there's quite a lot that we could say. There's a reason that we left. Things are a little less free and open down south, especially in Shadvir itself. But I would say that wherever you go, if you keep your friends close, perhaps you'll be able to keep well. The law is much more sturdy, let's say, down in Shadvir in the Shaded Reach. As far as good places to stop by, it's not a bad idea to visit either of the border cities. They might have other news or insights. They're usually at the heart of at least a well-connected goings-on of each reach, and they communicate with one another more than the reaches tend to. As for the rest, well, I would say stay away from the Chillbloom Agency and stay on the good side of the law as much as you can. And, of course, the Fate Weaver and her priests and priestesses have quite a bit of pull down in the Shaded Reach, so their word tends to dictate law quite heavily. But we have not been back in many years, for a good reason. So it's hard for us to say more about the specifics. And Bria said, just to add my piece, speaking from experience, the Dusk Devils are right devils in a fight. And the more of them, the stronger they become.
I assume with the law being, from what I've heard, probably avoid stuff like pickpocketing people or...
Well, yes, and frankly, you had a little bit of a run-in on the streets a few times here, from what I gather, and that kind of behavior might not be as gently looked at down there.
Starting to see why the Kakla moved up north.
You get the sense that's about what they're able to help you with, given how long it's been since they've been there.
Yeah. While they were mentioning the Fate Weaver, I could probably start fiddling her necklace a little bit. Well, are you guys going to be okay while I'm gone? Last time I left, it didn't go well.
Well, yes. It seems that Lord Kilmara has been very generous with his time and offering a place for us to stay. And I think we will find a way to repay him in one fashion or another. But I think we will be kept well, and of course, Bria will look after me, and I look after her. That's always how it's been.
I don't know. I just went out on my own for the first time, and I thought I'd be okay, and then I was okay, and you guys weren't. I don't know.
Well, I understand. It's okay, but we'll be fine. We're not. We're in the middle of Solni. It's the brightest and safest place, they say. So we'll see how things shake out, and with the connections, that's an additional piece of protection that we didn't have before.
Mind if I sleep in here tonight?
Of course not, dear. Of course not.
She put on her new coat and just
Snuggled in.
She'll pop out Mr. Mittens and use him as like a stuffed animal.
Mr. Mittens, he's taken some a stormier dark blue, and you see little knitting needles knitted into the pattern of his fur, or his sheep's wool. Schwool.
She'd probably before she goes to bed. Oh, and when I was at the Dove's Tail, I got this very fine. Does it look like something you could unravel the yarn of and use the yarn for something else?
What's this, for the spell stuff? It's so my vision was also specialized dye and stuff like that. It's more towards what you have in mind. It's possible for you to adapt it. Certainly they'd be interested in, oh wow, that's so fascinating. What an unusual material and substance. The viscosity is different. I wonder what the acidity content is.
I don't
know. It's safe to say they probably wouldn't be able to immediately repurpose it.
Yeah, well,
that's what the idea is.
I was just showing them, but
yeah.
I was thinking for my own
Possibly.
purposes of
possibly.
adding it to the spell book. But
Yeah.
she'd probably start either sewing it into or knitting it into the scarf, and probably incorporate the 100 gold. This is for identify. Incorporate the 100 gold pearl as part of that.
Okay. Yeah. Great. So you've got like a pearl as part of the
Yeah.
like in this. That's really cool. Yeah. Yeah. So you're able to successfully do that. Everyone else who's turning in for a rest. Anything else pre-rest that you want to do and set up? Everyone else just is watering his plants.
Will we have an hour?
Would you have an hour?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you definitely have an hour.
Can I change the coin?
Oh yeah, I mean you'd have it over the course of the rest and stuff like that. Remember, you've got watching and stuff like that, watches that you could do if you do want to take out any watches.
I'm gonna sleep for the minimum amount necessary to get my response, which is what 5-6 hours. Something.
I would say probably 6-7 hours.
Wasn't the whole thing 8 hours, and the watch would normally be a third of that?
Yeah, so it's I don't know. We'll say 6.
Okay.
Split the difference.
Cool. And so I'll just I'll stay up a little later. I'll say, and I'll just sit in the front, just watching.
Okay, make a perception check.
Not 20.
Yeah, I mean it's
Nice.
unusually quiet in this house. It's a big manor.
And I'm not watching in the house. I'm
Looking outside of the window? Oh, I see, okay.
Outside.
Yeah, you do notice that dwarf pass by a couple times, but otherwise nothing really whoop, something's really worrying, setting off the radars and stuff like that. No big exclamation mark gets posted over your head, but yeah, you do notice that dwarf with the brass knuckles and stuff like that, and the bald muscular human who was there the first time. They've passed by this street several times, but otherwise nothing has really come of it. They don't seem to be laying in wait or anything like that.
They're just vibing.
Yeah, they're just moving around.
Yeah, they gotta get tired too.
They're making it look casual.
Yeah.
And they're not doing it together. It's they're doing it in shifts.
They don't have a battle axe slung over their shoulder.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. The rest of you?
I'm gonna do watching my tattoos glow thing for a little bit, and then do my meditation and change out some spell slots during that, and yeah.
Great.
I'm gonna lay out my whatever I sleep on. Unless I can roll, I guess.
Bedroll, yeah.
Bedroll. I'm gonna stand up and just timber my way down.
Fall and the house shakes a bit.
Yeah.
What was that?
Earthquake!
Anything from Flo? Aside from
I'm
tuning to the coins?
tuning to those coins.
Okay, yeah.
I'm attuning to the cloak dream.
Yeah. Otherwise, the rest passes without event. No weird dreams or experiences or anything like that. Everyone gets the attunements and stuff like that. And you guys wake up ready for the 90th turning of the second shard, just before the Midyear's turning event. So we'll go ahead and take a quick break and be back in about 5 minutes. So if you're watching from home, don't go away. We'll be right back. And yeah, be right back. Break time. Woo!
just dies.
Okay, we're back debating the great cream cheese frosting debate of 2022. But in the world of Lumoria, the party has just taken another rest and is eagerly awaiting the forthcoming Midyear's Turning celebration, but is also looking to do some additional research as the turning comes around to get some information and plot their journey southward to make good on their commitment to the Shining Hand, to check out Shadvir and Nurwal in some order, possibly with stopping over at Landerhall slash Flywatch for Tennille's interests along the way. So, with all of that said, come to the turning, long rest benefits, take off a point of exhaustion flow. You're getting there from your trying time in the place with no heat, or the place with no water in very heated environment at the hands of Folian. So what's everyone doing? You guys have done breakfast, you guys have gotten all your stuff, you head out of the house in the morning, or in the start of the turning. Is there anything you guys wanted to do like right before you leave?
Yeah, make sure there's no one suspicious out front.
Okay, make a perception check.
Yeah.
Netka.
Oh, it was bound to happen.
What'd you get, Neka?
Yeah, it was.
What'd you got?
I would like to identify the cube of
Curiosities?
and she'll take out a little piece of yarn, sort of as she'll ritually cast it, not prepared in her spellbook, and sort of you kind of see it, the end of it kind of start to burn, and she kind of looks at the ash over the thing she wants to identify.
Cool.
Very nice.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is a sort of glass cube with a swirling grayish smoke that shifts into different shapes. So one use only. You can use it as an action to throw and break open the cube against the surface within 10 feet of you. You roll a d6 to see what it creates. The options are 1 is an imp, 2 is a flask of holy water, 3 is a flask of alchemist's fire, 4 is a deployed set of 20 caltrops, 5 is a potion of healing, and 6 is a candle of continual fire.
All very practical in every situation.
So, alright, we're gonna throw this box at someone and just suddenly there's a bottle of holy water just sitting there.
Possibly.
And if you throw the box and it's like a thing with the flask, does it stay in the flask?
Yes, if you roll a healing potion, it's not like there's a splattered healing potion in the cobblestones and you're sad.
I'd be more worried about alchemist fire, you weren't expecting it and then suddenly...
I was more worried about the imp, honestly, but...
Yeah, maybe not, deploy this in a place with people.
That's the best place.
We are already in enough trouble in this city.
None of our group is actually evil.
So that's what that
I
does.
think.
Cool.
So you guys,
Why are you looking at him?
You know why.
so you guys head on out. Head on downstairs. What was your perception roll?
Oh, not one.
You head on out boldly.
2 nat 20s.
You're just
not one.
I'm good.
What? I didn't. I was okay.
You don't see anything, I should say.
Yeah, I was gonna say before I go out, I want to cast Disguise Self on myself.
Okay.
And I want to be a shockingly beautiful dwarf woman.
Okay. Yeah, you've got that vertically challenged Viking goddess situation going on.
I'm gonna try to hold Slate's hand as we go out.
Okay. It's a little bit like a a dad and a child situation given the height differential.
Yep.
But it's like a 4 foot difference between the
Have
two
you ever
heights.
seen a picture of
Shaquille
Shaquille O'Neal's girlfriend?
Or no,
and
dude,
him?
Thor.
Yeah.
The,
It's like Shaquille O'Neal and his girlfriend.
I'll take
He's
it.
down here.
Yeah. So you're able to make a pretty good. You don't notice anything or anything like that.
As we're walking out, do I see the dwarf anywhere?
You with that roll? No, you do not.
Fair.
But all of you notice that the air here just feels like it's a little bit drier. It's a little bit the delay in rain has been a bit going, and often it's easy to miss or ignore the weather because you get such perfect mixtures of occasional rain here in Solni, but otherwise a glorious sunshine and warmth. But now it seems like things are a little bit drier and dustier and dirtier, no doubt from the influx of refugees and stuff like that, but also just the lack of rain. So it seems to have compounded with the lack in the last several turnings. So you kind of are noting that as you are heading out. Obviously, Flo, someone who loves water and stuff like that, this kind of brings back a few unfortunate memories for both of you, actually, from the like dry and fiery Brimstone Den, although not quite as hellish in its actuality. So you guys are heading out. Where are we going?
So we want to head towards the Lorebright office and either cash in or maybe do some research.
Do we want to hit the bookstore first? Grab
would we-
information there first, and we don't find it, then we'll find it.
Yeah.
I'm so close to the city. That
Uh,
bullets.
Somewhat. The bookstore was in kind of central southern, south of the Whitewater Square in the like central-ish part of the Tradestow ward. The smithy is in the like southwestern section of the Tradestow ward where it juts up against the Glinttop ward because craft and stuff like that is often found in the Glinttop. So it's kind of that mixture. So the smithy is actually pretty close to the southern gate. So you probably would have stopped off there on your way after your, like yesterday or previous turning. That's when you probably would have stopped off, is after like dealing with the, like witnessing the bribe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, if we get closer to it, I'll go grab them.
Sounds good. Okay, so we're doing the bookstore first.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So.
Before we go in, I'm going to cast Enhance Ability on myself and Intelligence this time.
Okay.
See
Well,
how this works.
we'll get to that because you're not close to it yet.
Okay.
There's some other stuff I wanted to.
Here we go.
Actually, no. Sorry. That was a misspeak from my end. You go there, and you cast the thing. Sorry, I was reading the wrong piece of paper. Okay. So you head on over. I know I'm an old-fashioned folk who read from a piece of paper. But you head on over to Brentland's bookstore, and you see Brentland's books. You see, Brentland, sort of young, athletic-looking 20s kind of gal, going about and trying to sort her never-ending catalog of massive books that she's got that she seems to have inherited. There's that cleaner, smaller part of the shop where she does like childhood reading and stuff like that. And then there's some of the more orderly shelves. But otherwise, it's like a very used bookstore. Like there's just stacks of books that serve as like almost like hallways. In some cases, so it kind of leads to a little bit of a clustered space. It's a pleasure to see you back again, and with more company this time. Broader group, it seems. Diverse interests, perhaps. Is there something that you're looking for specific, or would you like to just browse?
I would like to just browse, unless anyone else has any specific interests they would like to inquire about.
I do.
Go for it.
What was that book? The one about the the Dubovian,
It's the Unknown World Shaper.
Yes, that would have been Unknown World Shaper that Renostus mentioned.
I want.
Yes, I believe we have a copy. Third row, fourth shelf, seventh from the left. Should be the one you're looking for there. It's set you back about 15 gold.
I guess I would have been here when she said she gives part of the proceeds to orphans or something.
Yeah, you were there the last time.
Yeah, so I won't haggle.
Okay, sounds good.
How nice of you.
Renostus has peeled off. He did not join them.
Can I go with Rosses?
You did not let them leave. You got that nat 1 perception, bud.
Touche.
Um,
Oh, it's all thing.
no, but it is he peeled off rather early in the day. So Unknown World Shaper, the Dwovian Great Reach by Ashold Kratok, 15 gold.
Purchase.
Got it. Everyone, and what else were you looking for?
Well, this actually is kind of about the books. You said you sometimes have readings for orphans.
Yes, orphans, other individuals who can't afford the education at the Library of Candles, things like that. I just think it's important for everyone to know at least how to read. It really sets you up for a better life, in my opinion.
Great. Do you have any volunteers to help with that?
No, just me at the moment. But if you would like to sign up, I can put together a little draft list and find some times where you'd be able to do that. That sounds like a lovely contribution.
Right now, I am going off to travel for a little bit, but when I get
I
back,
understand.
I also might send 2 people down who I think one or both of them might be interested. Nadia and Bria.
Oh, okay. And she pulls out a quill and an ink pot and a little scrap of parchment. Scratches down their names. Oh, yes. Bria and Nadia. How do you spell Nadia?
Nadia.
And Bria?
Brea.
Ah, excellent. Okay. Got it.
Brea. Thank you. I was at one point an orphan on the street, and I got taken in by people trying their best. But I definitely would have loved something like this as a child.
Well, I'm glad to see you're doing so well as you are now. But thank you. That's very encouraging. So what are you looking for? Is everyone else doing the search, or is it just Tennille?
Felicity, looks down at her legs, looks back at her. My sea legs feel a little lost. Do you have any maps?
Oh, I don't really do maps so much.
Well,
but
you have all the papery things, right?
well, these papery things tend to be books. We do have some.
Yeah, maps.
We do have some varying traveling tales and travelogues, as it were. But if you're looking for a specific map, I would say Fairfeather Cartography would be the shop to go to.
Makes sense.
It's a good spot to be able to purchase a map, and you might be able to get something regional, depending on if Flight of Fairfeathers is around at the moment.
Okay.
They tend to go on their own journeys to get the maps recorded and things like that. So, my pleasure. What were you looking for?
I wanted to kind of repeat the search Brennan and I did yesterday, maybe like fresh eyes, but I also was interested, Flo's question about maps, but travel logs, I guess, was the other thing I was interested in looking for today.
Okay. So, what was your search stuff that you were in here last time for that you want to
We're
repeat?
looking for information about the Alusha yesterday.
Okay. So, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Oh, I needed that advantage. Awesome. That's a 19.
Great. Oh, and I should point out really fast before I do that. She does point you also. She says, well, we do have a gaffer's guide to cartography if you want to make your own maps and have some skill in charting that yourself. That might be a skill you'd be able to acquire from reading up on it. But that's more about the theory of being able to do that well rather than specifics to this area. I believe it's that one runs at 9 gold.
Okay.
All right, so you got a 19, and you're looking for information on the Alusha.
Yes.
You find there's a fair few books that at least mention them in passing that you would come across. Even stuff like Bones of the Earth has a passing reference to it, and since you're so thorough, you're seeing every note and just finding them and stuff like that. The one of the gaffer's guides to religion would include an entry on the Alusha.
Okay.
You already purchased the translation book, but that has a passing reference to it as well, which you note as you're comparing notes and things like that. Let's see. Otherwise, despite the great roll, it doesn't have the smoking gun solution that you seem to have found, mostly because it's not an area, not a subject that's studied a lot, but there's a book that seems like a quite heady, thick tome, which is the comprehensive interrelations between Verda and Sanctus. Bears some mention to the Alusha in speaking around how the Alusha is a more prevalent religious practice there. One other one that you would find is in the Guide to the Shaded Reach and Religion. Some entries around Landerhall and its sort of relationship with religion being a little bit more fluid and open to other ones outside of the sort of 13 seats religion that dominates most of Sanctus in one form or another.
Okay.
So those are the books that you're finding.
Okay. Bones of the Earth, because we talked about it last time, that was about geology, right?
It's about geology mostly, mainly focusing on the various mountain ranges in Lemuria.
Okay.
And it was more of a, it's more of a theoretical approach rather than this author has been there to each of them and has written something about them. It's
Okay.
theory and study and collected stories and histories about them.
Okay. And then Guide to the Shaded Reach. That one actually sounds like it might hit my travel log
Yeah,
application too.
it kind of follows into that same kind of location and situation. The travelogue that you come across is the Goblin's Guidebook to Tall Folks by Gretz Klinknail, which is about a goblin woman who was adopted into a adventuring party. And sort of her experiences. The party was known as the Stridaliers, and it seems like her guide is mostly around her experience with the Stridaliers as a group that traveled in a good portion of Sanctus and its surrounding areas, and the shenanigans they got up to.
Adorable. How much is a Guide to the Shaded Reach?
That was 10 gold.
Okay, I will purchase that one.
Okay, we got Gaffer's Guide. Gaff Guide to Shaded Reach.
Speaking of gaffers and their guides,
Mm-hmm.
could you run that list by me? Because some of them, maybe keep playing them.
Yeah, definitely. Let me just pull over. Yeah, all of these are by Gaffer Heracles Heropolis, by the way. If you guys care about the name.
Everyone's feet.
Yeah, so the list of those. I don't know why I just turned away from it. That was silly. Yeah, I'm a goofball sometimes. Okay, so we've got the Gaffer Guide books, and those include Plants and Berries, Playing Music, Brewing Ale, Wood Carving, Navigation, Bartering, Metal Repairs, First Aid, Ritual Magic, Fencing, Translation, which was purchased, although there's a second copy if you want one yourself, Cartography to the Shaded Reach, also purchased. There's actually another one, which is the Creatures of the Shaded Reach, Fishing, and yeah, I think that covers it.
How much is the Creatures of the Shaded Reach?
Also 10 gold.
So you don't have any money, do you?
Oh, yeah, you poor.
Not enough for that and leaving the city.
So, question for you. Since I've never actually had tools before, I'm uncertain as to their proper use. Like, if I have Smith's tools, I have proficiency with them, would I need a book on, like, metal repair?
It would help. It could possibly help further aid in your rolls, and add a different modifier or something like that, depending on what you need. Smith's tools and their proficiency definitely help you give some insight into being able to repair certain things, how things might have been made, being able to assess damage, determine the nature of damage, like if it was corrosion versus like a break in a deliberate break of a weapon, something like that. Obviously, without like a forge or something like that, you're not going to be able to make something bespoke, but you would even be able to do that with the Smith's tools. And the more knowledge that you gather, it's like recipes, right? The more knowledge of like how to make this certain thing, the farther that would go. This is specifically about metal repairs, but you might be able to adapt some of that as well. It's metalworking in general, but with a repairs kind of bent.
I'm also not the wealthiest.
That one's 6 gold.
Oh. What about the fishing one?
The fishing one, how expensive is it?
Yeah.
That one's 6 gold as well. Has some basic, just like, angling techniques and skills in different stuff. It gets into ice fishing in certain parts of the world. Fish to look out for that are poisonous to eat in different parts of the world as well. So, covers a little bit of that.
I think both of those are neat. I'll take them.
Okay.
Seeing you'll slowly eye them up, I'll grab one, either one of the 6 gold ones, and pay for it. And she'll like, I want to read your World Shaper book at some point in exchange for this.
Done.
Okay, so I'll pay for one, and
Splendid. Thank you so much for your business. That's so
Cool.
nice of you guys. I really appreciate all your efforts, and I'll make sure to put the money to good use.
I need you to know that says, I'll be a little more honest if you buy me the Beast book.
Inside check.
Inside check.
That's a 22 total.
I'm telling the truth. I'll be more honest if you buy me the beach plate.
I'll buy him the beast.
Go.
All right, 10 gold.
That one was 10 gold.
That one's 10.
Go.
Both the Shadbeer ones are 10 gold.
6 gold. 6 gold is not worth my honesty.
But 10 gold. That changes everything.
10 gold.
An extra 4 gold.
Okay, so that was Beast of the Shaded Reach.
Creatures of the Shaded Reach.
Creatures
Not
of the
necessarily beasts, but creatures in general.
Alright,
I get to read it whenever I want.
that's fair.
Okay, so we ended up with
No, that part that part was a lot. No.
fishing, creatures, metal repairs. Right, as far as Gaffer's Guide goes. As well as the original Shaded Reach one.
The navigation one.
Bro, we do not need more books to carry.
Okay.
That one's 8 gold, by the way. Navigation.
Do you remember what Slate is?
Navigation and cartography are both 8 gold.
Okay.
You're a mobile library.
Kind of, yeah.
You're a Kindle!
Slate nickname Kindle.
It's just a lot heavier.
Renostus is browsing. Oh no, he's not here, sorry. My bad.
You're a goofball.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You guys walk away from the bookstore, laden with more texts and tomes.
As is proper.
Yeah, there you go. So you guys are heading out to your next possible destination, but with all this, one sec, with all this paper and bookery in hand, this is an interesting time because from the center of the city, you can see misty plumes begin to waft and rise into the sky, giving an almost iridescent shiver to the air. And high above, you notice a darkening of the sky as from the south comes a bloom of swollen clouds laden with relief to the parched earth below. A boom and crackle can be heard. A flash of brilliant light spiderwebbing throughout the nerves of the storm as the heat of this region and the chill of the forthcoming weather combine in a full-out thunderstorm. The cloud carvers must be exhausted, for they seem to have not merely conjured a brief reprieve or soil-dampening rain, but a near monsoon as it begins to just really come down.
Flo is skipping down the street.
Everyone cover your books. I'm like trying to like shove
hiding
like,
in doorways and whatnot.
I mean, it's presumed that you guys have like backpacks or packs of some kind, so presumably you're able to quickly stuff them in that. But still, yes, maybe wrap them in some clothes or something like that before. You definitely notice several strikes of lightning that lash out towards Chronosa, the Rainbow Complex, and the Library of Candles, which are generally the tallest structures. Strangely, High Soul Seat and Casa Radia are not struck. But those each seem to have some kind of mechanism to harness or capture the energy, because the light seems to remain and illuminate those spaces for a little bit longer than it should. And the rain comes and it washes the city clean in preparation for the coming Midyear's turning celebration. A few of the wilder city folk are also, like Flo, up and enjoying the rain, while others are sort of set with awnings. Shops are set with awnings, are being closed up, like fruit carts, and the Little House of Lard probably turned in quite early around the situation. And when it comes forth, with the rain kind of comes truth for all the hidden muck and grime here in the Werewarrens, the Trades Toe, and even the Jewels Ward is seen true and tried as the water finds all of the murkiest canals and runnels some of the dirt of the city all into the slanted parts where there are drains or troughs or gutters. The murkiest canals of the salt poles now are swimming amidst the garbage as the water level rises. Obviously, this big of a storm is both a blessing and a curse, depending on which part of the city you're living in. Yet all the same, the washing comes, and for all the challenges it might bring to the salt poles, even there the sky sort of cleans the location and sets the garbage out to sea, or else helps bathe the city a little bit. And it's not only the Prismere's complex now that shines in all of its many colors, for as the city is being bathed in both the sun and the rain all together, you're getting this, like, everything from the Soul's Guard armor and mirror blade weaponry to the panels on the walls of many of the buildings which are mirrored, and the walls of Solni itself. Even just like this alleyways get like rainbows that stream and crisscross throughout different parts of the city to create this really shining effect around the space. Plenty of the streets are a little bit waterlogged as you guys are making your way to wherever you're going next. So where are we going next?
Is it still raining, or is it just like
It's pouring down, and it's going for a good like hour as you guys are maneuvering to the next part of the city.
As we're going through, I'm kind of same as I have been, just really like trying to be extra alert. And I'm trying to kind of dig back in my mind, like what do I remember about the Children Agency?
Yeah, go ahead and make a just general intelligence check.
Nope, not very much. 11.
Not too much more than what I had already previously discussed with you. But yeah, you would know that there's sort of the. I mean, now that you guys have met the Faints, that's not a bad comparison or equivalency with them, but for the Shaded Reach.
Yeah.
Sort of the spy group of that, and are you talking this out loud with people, or are you just sort of... Okay. You would know that they get the name from the rare chillbloom lotus flower, which is said to have medical properties and grows in the Duskband Range mountains.
Good, but that wouldn't necessarily cue me in at all. I think they're a spy or esque organization, so there's nothing that would stand out about them in a crowd or anything like that.
No, I mean, if they're even half as adept as
Yeah.
the Faints as disguising and stuff like that, you remember the one came in as a commander first and left, as of the guard.
Yeah.
It could be anyone, and that's what makes them so dangerous.
Even me,
It could be.
So, as you guys are moving along, it's still raining, still going for the next couple hours. It's coming down. So, what are we doing here in your next stop?
Do we want to go to the Lawbright?
Might as well.
Might as well.
Okay. You head to the Whitewater Square, and you see all the mists in the Mist Gardens, that southern part of the Whitewater Square that's home to the cloud carvers of this conclave of this part of the city, or this part of the world, is thick with mist and rain, particularly around that area, and it seems to sort of almost radiate outward. But you guys get to one of the 4 bridges that crosses into the little island that's the heart and highest station of Solni. And you see again you see a pair of those sort of masked, golden masked and golden armored or cloaked with the sort of rasping, rattly golden metallic cloaks that they're wearing, guards. They seem to have sort of like almost metallic gloves that go up to their elbows. And they you hear like a rustling sound coming from their cloaks and stuff like that as you approach. And a few like high-pitched pings that kind of come off of any metal that are on your guys' person. And one of them says, "Mr. State your business. What is your purpose here in Whitewater Square?"
The Beewildered going to the Lawbright office?
Do you have your Lorbright stone with you to present?
Pull it out.
Do you have any further papers to identify yourself?
Annette pull out her pin identifying her as a member of the Prismere.
Very well. Proceed.
Were we asked for that last time?
Thanks.
You weren't asked for any kind of... You were given a security check, but it seems like the information gathering is a further step up. Like this ratchet only seems to go one direction, which is more security, right?
Right.
And you're noticing... yes, it seems like an additional step.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, security's even tighter than before. Okay.
Yeah. But you head on over, and you see several adventuring groups that seem to be congregating around the Lorbright hold of the Rainbow Complex, that sort of bricked campus of 7 different colored towers and their adjacent sort of lower halls. You head over to the green one, which is the Lorbright and Lore Gathering office. And yeah, you see other adventurers kind of milling about in different parties of 4 or 5. You're a larger group of 6 individuals. Now, Renastus has indeed come back with you guys at this stage. He would have done just before meeting up at the Whitewater Square. But you guys head on in, and you see again that sort of elf in the emerald green robes and gold trim, DragonPoetSociety, the guy who registered you in. He says, "Oh, the Beewildered party, welcome back. Would you like a booking of a Lorebright office or any particular association? Any further inquests, or what are we doing here today?"
A room, please.
Yes, well, that will be, let me check my price log. I believe it was it 5 gold the last time? 3 gold the last
I
time?
think it was 3 gold.
I think it was 3 gold the last time, so we'll go with 3.
Is anyone else going to fork it over, or is
I have 3 gold total.
So it has some gold, so sure, I'll hand it over.
Okay. Very good, very good. It'll be chamber number 7 on your left. You can see there white marble. This is sort of a white marble area with green marble sort of inlaid within it. And you can see some staircases leading back behind the desk that Vulamaith was at. He writes in this huge tome that sort of just like appears out of nowhere when you guys go up to the desk. And pens your name in. Yes, and it is the Beewildered, that's right?
Yes, 2 E's.
Right, like the insect. Okay, very well. Well, as I said, chamber number 7. Good day to you.
I guess as we get in the hallway, like, I'll kind of point stuff out to the Cackler and Flo, because they didn't come in here last time.
They did not.
No, I didn't either. She was at the DMV.
Yes, the great DMV of the Prismere's
And I'm sure we're not
arcane regulation.
Also, like, just pointing out all sorts of things to you guys.
Oh yes, and over there it looks like they are. Well, I can just re-describe it. So you get into the chamber. There's a basic desk and a few writing materials and stuff like that. There for note taking and whatnot. There's a couple comfy chairs and a fireplace. But at the center of the room is like a pedestal of thin emerald crystal or emerald glass that comes up and bowls into like a pedestal situation, but it's quite broad, about exactly the shape of your Lorebright stone. And from the top is this sort of apparatus of rainbow-colored material, and particularly in purples and in green, extending down, even with some gold inlay and stuff like that, and then kind of spiraling down to, from this very large violet orb at the top, and it kind of reaches down, extending and hovering maybe a couple feet above where the Lorebright stone would be placed. And since you guys don't need an explanation of how it was used, how it is used, Vulamaith did not accompany you this time. He just brought you in. So you place your Lorebright stone on there, and it kind of gets a reading, and you hear, "You have 36 points of Lorebright available. Would you like to make a purchase or cash out your option for 108 gold?"
What do we want to do, guys? Do we want 108 gold? Do we want to make a purchase? Gold.
Gold.
You know, we searched you last time we were here. just so you know, you're in the database.
You're a bloody criminal.
I hold that piece of paper. Find anything interesting?
You're a bloody criminal.
We're gonna have to buy you some new paper here pretty soon with all the paper you're writing the information down.
I'm
You're
erasing.
just tearing pages
You're erasing.
out of the book.
It's just a singular piece of paper that I use every single time.
You're a
Try
chalkboard.
erase board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, chalkboard's probably more.
Chalk and slate is kind of what I'm imagining.
Well, I mean, we can do partial. We can buy some information, or we can cash out the rest of the money. But is there anything that we did not find at the bookstore that we think we could research today?
I don't know if what I'm looking for is in the book I bought.
What are you looking for?
You can read the book in the thing and leaf through it at least to get a good sense of what you're
I'll
looking
make
for.
direct eye contact with them and just open the book.
Which one are you opening?
Unknown World Shaper.
Unknown World Shaper. Got it. Okay. I need to open to my. Let's do
About
this.
you, Blue? Anything you want to research?
She's just lounging on the chair, just like.
Long for the ride.
Yeah.
I'm not going to speak for Renostis. I have a guess at maybe something that would be interested, but I don't want to spend the party's points on a guess necessarily. So
Gotcha.
we can maybe retcon things if it works out that way. But
Retcon things.
I'd prefer not to
Terrible.
if we can avoid it. So unfortunately, Renostis might have to miss out. For simplicity's sake, actually, it might be easier if we just say Renostis is still not with the party.
Okay.
That he's still off on whatever errand he was at before.
You didn't see Ren.
I think you had a meeting with that lady from the Little House of Lava.
A meeting or meeting?
Chris.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
Like a date. Yeah.
Ooh.
Little House of Love. Jesus.
How long? So you guys have the book. You've booked the.
Doing it anyway?
You've booked the room and you have it for an hour, unless otherwise specified. It's 3 gold an hour.
Okay.
So that kind of puts somewhat of a limit on your ability to like delve super deep.
I read it before, but we all just like, let's just keep going.
So we'll say you've read at least a decent a portion of it. Okay. So Unknown World Shaper, The Dwarvian Great Reach by Ashold Kratok. This book highlights what little has been recorded and discovered about the Dwarvian Great Reach's history. It also mentions that in over the 400 years since the fall of the Great Reach, not one successful attempt to settle the area, now known as the Scouring, has seen success. Kratok theorizes perhaps there was some sort of divine punishment or cataclysm that sealed the Great Reach's fate and poisoned its land. Yet despite many aged members of the Long Life races existing in the proper timeline, no written accounts of the Great Reach's collapse have been recorded or even shared via oral history. It also highlights some clear lineages. The next part you get to is sort of the curiosity of the fact that there's some clear lineages within the Great Reach and the nation of Sanctus and its 2 reaches. The legends of Cronoso's ancestor, Chronovasa, for example. So that's kind of where you get to by this point. There's more to be read, but that's what you're getting so far. And you would, yeah, that's what you're getting so far.
Where on the map is the scouring?
The Scouring?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
It's not really listed on that map that you have there of Sanctus. Those of you, are you asking this team at the group room at large?
If asking you gets me nothing, then yes, I would ask.
Metagaming. But yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah. So let's see. Tennille, Cackler, and Flo can each make a history check.
It's been more than an hour since we left the bookstore.
I help you now.
Yes. Kind of hard to move through the city in
Why
such.
is this my luck tonight? That's a
Hey, get it out now before you guys. At least you're not plundering the ship, right?
Yeah, checking if we're running out of air or not.
9,
All 3 of you said.
8. Unfortunately, it's not covered on your map, and no one seems to have too much information about it. But additional materials at that cartography store might be a good place to look to get some further stuff. So, otherwise, you can make a purchase here at the Lorebright situation if you'd like.
No?
No.
No, I'm just curious what you guys found out about me.
Okay.
We
So-
didn't buy any of it. We
You
just-
while you're doing that, while you're reading the book and kind of asking the team about it while you're here, what is the party gonna do with the Lorebright points?
I say we cash out.
Yeah, I think.
If anything, having coin to talk to people and ask you whether it's along the way or something else can also give us information. It
True.
doesn't have to.
And getting a map. I feel like
Yeah.
we might need to get a map. So I would say cash out, but I'm willing to split it too if there's something we really want to research before we get rid of all the money.
Do you guys want to cash out half just to have some, or do you want to just go all in?
Let's just. We should.
What money do we need?
I would like to eat.
I mean, it's more of like, I know that we have 2 party members, potentially 3, I don't know how much money you have left, but people are a little low on funds. We need money to get out of this city, and we don't know what money we'll need to get into other cities when we go south.
Obviously, if you want to book places to stay and stuff like that, like other shrines of Alito, for instance. If you want to commission a wagon or caravan, hitch a ride, even like buy or rent horses, for instance, there's lots of those kind of options that could be used for that. Renostas also had mentioned a project that he could do for the party that would be more costly, but would require 100 gold gemstone. So,
Making a coffee mate or whatever.
He didn't tell us anything more about it.
He was just trying to get something nice for the butter lady.
so are you guys?
I guess we're gonna cash out.
Yeah, sounds good.
All
I
right.
think
Okay.
cash out all of it. As if we're traveling, we'll be gathering more.
Yeah, we're going in places where low bright points will be
Yeah.
accumulated.
So as you place it on the pedestal and you say, cash out, please, you sort of see it, and all the motes that were floating in the lore bright stones, fly up and sort of get absorbed into this upper orb area, and you then see just like a flash of emerald, kind of like coming out of the Goblet of Fire in Harry Potter. It just like floats a piece of parchment, and it says, "Deposit this to the caretaker at the desk for your loan, or is for your funds to be secured." And it says 108 gold.
Okay.
All right. So heading out, you cash out with Vulumaith. Would you like it in platinum or copper mixed coin?
How
Fine
about
with copper.
half
I
platinum and then the rest a mix of gold and silver?
Okay. So 5 platinum.
Okay.
And then he gives you 57 gold.
We
And
just want to do 6 platinum, so we each just get 1 platinum.
Are we going to split it amongst ourselves? Are we going to split it amongst ourselves?
Are these travel funds?
Or are these just party travel funds?
Or we could, yeah, that's a good question. Do we want to have it as a party travel fund, or do we want to disperse it amongst ourselves?
I'm fine just leaving it as a party travel fund.
I mean, this
personally.
is stuff we're collecting together, so all the lore bright money we could use as a party fund.
That's kind of what I'm thinking
Okay.
there.
And then
Okay.
we'll
And
keep
we
it
pull,
together.
And we pull that for lodging. and
5
Yeah.
platinum, 50 gold, 80 silver.
50 gold, 80 silver. I will take 3 of those gold and hand them back to Slate for the room. That we had to rent the room.
Oh. I was like, I misheard you. I thought you said broom. I was like,
That's an expensive broom, man.
Nice broom.
Yeah, it's a very nice
It's a
broom. I mean, you can buy a broom that nice in
nice
Solni, but like,
Like it's super
So
ornate.
is it just like one of those super large push rooms you can get everything with? Just, like not a small.
no,
room?
it's inversely proportional to size, right? Like, it's like food, right? Smaller and fancier, but less like
it's literally
less
it's
good
like
as
a
a
less
broom.
good as a
broom.
broom.
It's like a dustpan.
Slate's like over 8 feet tall. He needs a big boy.
Yeah.
Not like
Yeah.
Anyway, so you
I
guys
have
depart.
opinions on push rooms.
You guys depart the Lord Bright office with your new funds in tow. You okay?
I think I had a fly into my nose.
Oh, good times.
In there.
Oh,
Um,
I'm good. It was just surprising.
It's coming out of your eye.
so you guys exit, and the
Why?
we'll say you guys spent pretty close to the full hour after you were researching and stuff like that, and that. So storm's still coming down in some force, but is kind of beginning to even out a little bit, ease away. So what are you guys doing now?
are we?
Still in
Center
Whitewater
of the
Square,
city.
center of the city.
I want to hit up that map shop.
Sure.
Yes.
Does anyone else have any idea where else they want to go?
I tell you.
We can
That's
stop at a
really cool,
smithy
actually.
before we go
Oh,
back.
um,
That'd be great.
True. That's it.
Also, does Trust Defense sell rations?
I think
Oh
we did.
my God.
We did buy rations from him last
Yeah,
time.
we should
so.
probably stock. We could have like potty funds and potty rations.
Flo, it's your time to shine.
Oh, go see my man!
And I'm one of his ambassadors. I'm one of his brand reps.
Sure, you're a hot
So
dwarf
I
woman.
guess we would like to the most
Well,
efficient
That's
route.
worn off by
That's
now.
only 1 hour.
Yeah. That's true.
Most efficient route to hit up Tristafans and the map shop.
Or I
Okay.
guess we could hit up another general store. I just feel like these two might.
We also don't all have to go to both locations. We could also split up.
Yeah.
just
For the sake of brevity, I'll
Yeah.
just say you're able to secure. How many rations do you want to get? Do you have any other supplies you want to get as far as things go?
Look at your supplies, people. Anything you think we need?
I have a fair amount of just general traveling supplies in my cloak.
How many days do you? I mean, we don't. So I have like 9 rations.
It was a day to Bright Meadow.
The
2
map
days.
has a scale on it, so if you guys want to look and
2
see
days,
at
right
the
Oh.
general likelihood of distances and stuff like that. Obviously, that's not accounting for terrain or anything like that. It's as the crow flies situation.
Okay.
It's very offensive to the cackler.
So it was
As the
about
crow flies.
50 miles to Bright Meadow.
I remember this.
And then it's gonna be...
I think it was actually 2 turnings to Brightmeadow, wasn't it?
It was
'Cause you guys
2
stopped
turnings.
over halfway at the shrine.
Yeah, so it was 50, and then that's going to be like 250 to Shadbeer.
So 4 day or
So it's 25 miles a day if we say that. It was 50 miles to Bright Meadow.
So about 10.
Yeah, about 10. So
10. So want to maybe 15 rations?
And that's it. Then again, that's assuming like flat, nice roads the whole way
Right,
through.
so-
No delays.
We never sidetracked.
15 rations
I
for
mean,
everybody. That's a
I'm
lot of
assuming
food.
that we're gonna be tested.
Yeah, the roads
Like,
don't.
has
The
some
roads don't
cities,
just go
not just-
straight from like
Right.
Solni to Shadveer, right? They're
Yeah.
going to be meandering a little
But there's
bit.
also
I would assume there'd be
shrines.
So.
places to buy food along
To
the
be
way.
clear, also, that doesn't mean that you have to stick to the roads. You could just say we're going to go as straight as we can, and just go off road and stuff like that. Higher likelihood of maybe coming across other things. Who knows? But and also might slow you based on terrain. But just
Right.
as a thing, like you can decide, like we're sticking to the road, we're sticking off road,
So, yeah,
cutting through cross.
options.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind off-roading for a bit, finding some creatures that I could
Why don't
make
we
into dyes and
start
seeds and-
with 10 rations per person on top of
I'm
what we
willing to
already
come
have, and then if we stop at shrines, we stop at inns, when we get to Lander Hall, we can buy more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So 60
Flo.
rations.
Okay. Flo. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Seduction check.
Could I also,
Oh,
as
I'm
one of those
still
brand ambassadors,
disadvantaged.
I'll give you. It'll just be a straight roll. It can
Really?
just be a straight roll.
Don't you?
Nicholas, can I also roll as one of those brand ambassadors?
That's why she's getting advantage.
I thought
So it's just a straight roll.
He likes her.
I know, that's what I thought too.
Sure, you can roll separately. That's fine. It's just straight roll.
Oh, yeah.
12. That's not bad.
Come on.
It's about 10.
You should have let me roll because I would have gotten you.
That's still $11 for it.
What'd you get, Keckler?
1.
1. Okay.
You're not bringing that much.
So,
Guess how much business coming from
um,
Indeed.
I'm getting a little out of it, but Tristophan, thank you, is very happy to see you, and is able to offer you a deal. He says normally rations at this current moment are going a gold apiece, given the supply and the given the influx of individuals and stuff like that. He's able to give you them at the bargain price of 7 silver a pop.
7 times.
So
Yes,
42.
I'm fishing there for food, everyone. Let's go.
Okay.
Do we want
So
to
that'd be about 42 gold for the total of the rations that you guys had.
want to do half of that?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
always
maybe like
we can
5
always like
rations?
hunt for stuff on the way too. Like if
Yeah,
we're out there, I
and,
could
you
always
know,
go for like
and
rabbits
forage.
and yeah.
I mean, check your inventories too. I'm assuming we're not out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, you can
Maybe
absolutely
5
hunt
rations.
along the way, or forage and stuff like that. That would be like survival and nature checks and stuff like that. Putting the other checks to use and things like that. And as Slate pointed out, if he buys equipment to do so, or else tries to just do spearfishing, you could
Also, I can scout.
you can
waters
use-
and be like, that area has more fish.
you can use stuff
Like another
to
beehive.
get from the land. Again, those would be like survival based checks. Overall, though, if you guys want to do half that, so that would be 21 gold's worth of rations, which would offer you 30 rations, excuse me, which would be.
So you're telling me
That
we're
sounds
paying
good.
21 gold and gives us 30. I like this.
But you get so 5 rations apiece.
Okay, so everyone add 5
Plus
rations
5 to rations.
to
Ren rations.
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 Was there anything else that you wanted to buy along the way, buy while you were there for supplies?
Can I see if he'd be interested in
Fishing pole.
buying one of my shade cloth hats? 'Cause I have two.
Well, I might be able to manage something like that for a friend of Flo's. We'll give you a solid 3 gold for that.
Sure. How much for a fishing pole?
I was just trying to look that up.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
6 silver. That's my guess.
Fishing tackle is a gold.
No, I was wrong.
I would say you could probably do the rest as far as some like string or whatever to do that. But I'm assuming the tackle kind of includes that kind of stuff. So,
I'm just going to covers everything but the rod.
but the rod basically, yeah. So it's a gold and a half. at this store.
I'll buy the stuff with my hat money and give it to Slate.
Got it. So you come in the red, or come in the black, excuse me. 1 gold, 5 silver.
Okay.
How much do you would this weigh?
How much would this weigh?
Yeah.
Not very much.
Well,
The rations actually is a good point of.
I thought we
We
were.
decided they don't weigh anything.
That's right, we did. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because that would be rough for
Hold on.
Everybody involved, yeah. Fishing tackle is 4 pounds.
4 pounds.
How much does the scrap metal weigh
The scrap metal
that I bought for my
altogether is 1 pound.
Okay.
You do not get very much scrap metal.
They're just small.
And the short sword, do you have? Would that be like a scimitar one?
Magic are also half
The
weight.
short sword is half its normal weight because it's magical.
So
So I need to look up what a short sword is.
50 pounds. Should we buy like salt and stuff to like preserve fish?
You could.
It's not a terrible idea.
Salt.
Make our own
Um,
rations.
Will you
Short
go
sword
with
is
salt?
2 pounds. So this is 1 pound.
Just scrape it off like the dock.
Oh, I don't think we want that.
That's not what you think it is.
oh.
Yeah, you can buy some salt like for preserving. You need a fair amount depending on how much you want to preserve.
50 pounds of salt. Come on.
But I would say it's 5 gold per pound.
How much is a ration per pound? Like, I don't think that's worth it.
No,
Yeah.
I think we're fine.
We could dry the fish too.
We'll just only eat
If we're-
fish when there's fish around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if we're still in the radiant
Salt in this era, pretty valuable actually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if we're in the radiant reach, we could cut it thin, set it out to dry, have fish jerky. Doesn't sound pleasant,
Furky.
but
Good old Furky.
all right.
And she's
So
actually
you do
national
that
anthem.
successfully. You also head over to the Fair Feather Cartography.
Right.
Behind the desk is a female tabaxi with quite a few feathered like ornaments on her. She kind of gives like a druidic / nature wandery type vibe individual. She says, "Greetings. I am Flight of Fair Feathers, and what would we be looking for discovery? Would you like a compass, a map, a bit of both?"
I think we're looking for some maps.
Excellent. You've come to the right place.
We're
be a shame if we walked in here and there were like no maps.
Yes, it would be a shame. A shame on me and a shame on you.
we're traveling south.
I see.
So a map of Sanctus would potentially be useful.
Very well. I can sell you a map of Sanctus for a modest 10 gold.
Say if you had questions about waters I've been in, and I gave you a little more clarity on your maps about those, would you perhaps give us a little bit of a deal?
Make a persuasion check.
Eight.
It would depend on the waters that you have been to, but I have done a fair sailing and flying myself over many of the waters local to this region. So it would depend. It would have to be something rather quite east or quite south.
Would I have any good things that wouldn't give away that I've like been involved with some sketchy?
I think you probably wouldn't be able to answer the one without giving away the other. Especially with that roll, you're kind of...
Own your
Yeah.
sketchiness.
So.
I mean, I do.
What other maps would you like to purchase?
Well, we'll take. Is everyone okay with us paying 10 gold for that
Yeah.
one? Okay.
So it's the map of Sanctus that you're borrowing from your uncle. You just now have your own copy.
Okay.
Comes in a nice tube, like a wax sealed tube.
Do you have any maps that show references to the Scouring?
Oh, the Scouring. Yes, it is a southeastern region.
Southeast, you say?
Out of the overall, the main map that I have that would include that. It is not an area that I have traveled too much in. I have a map of Verda and its surroundings, which would include that around its southern border. Or I have a map of Lumoria itself, done by numerous collections of cartography. It might be a bit incongruous with reality in certain areas that are less explored, but it's the best that we are able to do.
What do you think, Slate? This is your
How much is that map?
I would put it at a bargain 20 gold.
What about the map of Verda?
The map of Verda, I would also say is a rarer piece than that of Sanctus, and puts it at 15.
Might as well get the map of the whole damn place if I find one.
Again, I make no perfect promises to the accuracy in certain parts, particularly in the southeast, as it is unsettled, but it is at least referenced on this map.
That's kind of a lot of money.
You want to take a vote? Yeah. Do you want to buy a map of Lemuria for 20 gold? Okay.
Renostus would say yes if he was here, but he's not here.
That's
Tragic.
It's okay. Then we.
Well, perhaps we can package deal the two. It's been a little bit since I've got some business. Most folk are interested in getting to the city, rather than knowing more about it. Is there something that you guys would like, if you're doing both maps, perhaps a little bit of a discount?
Wait, so it was a map of Lemuria, and then what was the...
You already bought the first one, which was Sanctus.
Yeah, so we bought this
Specifically
map, and so it would be the map of all of Lemuria.
that is pretty...
For 20 gold, I think that's actually pretty useful. And if we can bundle it and maybe get a little bit of a discount, I think
I'll give it to you for a good 18 gold. Knock off a
I'll
couple.
say 17.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
What should I say?
With the other map that you're already purchasing. You've already purchased that, and she's kind of like, doesn't want to lose the sale.
Nice.
18.
18? Very well. 17.
Okay. Alright.
So you guys get this
Okay.
lovely map.
Cake you
So
child.
you guys can use it again. She says, like, beware. Map maker bias is a real thing, and it wasn't all my work, I should point out, so don't blame me. But I was able to put it together, and I'm rather proud of this one myself. And she kind of hands it over, so here you go.
Okay. And you've had a lot of travels.
I have indeed. I've been lucky enough to have some feathered friends, and do a little bit of flight myself. And she kind of brushes one of her feathers on her shoulder.
I like, you can just tell I'm like irritated by this.
Do, have you been south very recently?
Recently, not so much. My latest excursion was actually around the Sunswell Isles and some parts of Umara. Quite hot up there.
I'm
Oof.
from there! How's it looking over there?
It's beautiful as ever. Of course, full of mixed characters. I think it's safe to say. You don't seem too unfamiliar with them yourself. A few chartings of the Isles up north in the waters. Red Coin, for instance, a little bit of an unsavory reputation. But at any case, yes.
Has there been any recent developments over there other than just the same old...
The same old mixture of plundering and swindling.
She's gonna like...
The Crimson Sail is said to have set sail a couple times from Red Coin, which is a little bit worrying, I think, from some of the locals, from what they were saying, but otherwise nothing too untoward. In Umara, things are getting a little bit more unsettled, as a few of their cloud carvers have gone missing. I think that's why we had the late rain, although we seem to have been more than making up with it today. She kind of gestures out the store window. It's like still coming down, but it's starting to let out. But it's got that like runnels of water down the window kind of effect.
Well, did we catch her name?
Flight of Fair Feathers.
Her name.
That is her name.
Oh.
So Tabaxi generally have a name, in Lemuria at least, Tabaxi generally have a name that's closer to a series of kind of titles, sort of in a native sense. Like Claw of Cinders or Strider on Waves, things like that. Generally to do with travel, since the Tabaxi are a particularly well-traveled and disparate nomadic race. Often they shorten them to that. It's a kind of Verdun trait to have names like that as well. So you know that some Furbolgs have names like that are more on the Verdun side of things. Even a few elves have taken names of that way. It's a more Verdun-esque naming thing. But she introduced herself as Flight of Fair Feathers or just Fairfeather.
Okay. Very cool. Oof, that is far away.
Yeah.
Miss Fairfeather,
Yes.
say you did a trip down south
Mm-hmm.
in times like now.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have any recommendations on places that are more
Must
pleasant / have less trouble to travel through?
I would not know of the specifics, but I pride myself in being able to
regions.
read the situation. I would say that Featherton has had an interesting history that I find personally fascinating, despite its tumultuous nature. The same can be true for some of the older cities. I mean, Landerhall predates Sanctus by quite a long time and has quite a rich history, and which has led to a bit of an unusual development in its nature. I hear that things around Nerwall are a little bit strange, and all of the Shaded Reach can be quite dangerous with the creatures that reside within it, but it is up to the wits and the well-beings of the individuals to be able to read the dangers at hand, as it were, and I cannot speak to what has happened the last few turnings with the flickers and all.
Do you have any like favorite gear that you found really useful?
A shadecloth hat and tent go very far in this part of the world and all the way up to Umara, especially. Whew, let me tell you, the fur gets sticky. But in any case, I would say that there's warm clothes don't go amiss in the south. Mostly, I would say that a good coat and a good any tools, lanterns and lamps that help light the areas. Hooded lanterns are my particular favorite, as they can be a little bit more directed and not announce your presence to all the creatures in the dark.
Thank you for that.
As for other particular... Can I see the map of Sanctus back really quick? Please. Thank you. Otherwise, I would say that some of the places that I personally found most challenging were around the Aluma Desert on my way to Featherton. But it can be quite a rewarding, as I said, it's an unusual place, despite its tumultuous tremors, and various cultural melting pot. Hands back. So you walk away with your two nice shiny maps in their nice shiny scroll tubes, and you notice that the rain seems to have lightened up. This was in sort of the Tradestow ward, so if you imagine the Whitewater Square, kind of southeast of that, around the Tradestow ward, as it borders the long street, which is Scovin's Divide, which divides sort of the Jules Ward and Tradestow Ward, and then the Werewarrens. It's like on the corner of that, and sort of on the Tradestow Ward side of things. So you guys head out, and it's a major thoroughfare, is what I'm getting at, back up north towards the Jules Ward, if that's where you guys want to go, or wherever else you'd like to go. But you can definitely see some people are coming out more now, that rain has lightened up. So what's everyone up to?
What time of day would you say it is?
Your timepiece shows that this is, we're getting to the probably second or third hour after the middle of the turning.
Okay, it's like afternoon-ish.
Yeah, 2 p.m.
You guys have been in this city longer. Oh, go ahead.
So I've got my nice shadecloth hat out
Nice.
on, my other one I didn't sell and look completely ridiculous. Don't care.
Do you guys happen to know if the smithy's anywhere close? I kind of know the city, but I'm a little turned around.
It's south of you. It's not super close. You'd have to go south towards the gate. So you guys are over here.
Yeah.
Do this for the camera. I don't have a nice color map, which is why I'm not showing it off. But over here is where you guys are at, and the smithy is over here.
Okay.
Maybe we
Actually, it's over here, so it's even farther away.
It's
Okay.
ways out.
It's away
hit it
back.
up on our way out of the city.
Yeah.
Sure. I said be ready today, but
I mean, if you want to go today, we can.
You can go. It's to you.
I mean, I can split off and go. Oh, you guys do what you need to do.
I don't know that I
I'm
have
not worried
anything.
about myself in the streets.
Hello. What? Go.
Okay.
Are you all going?
I don't have anything else to do.
I was planned on.
We can say it's part of the trip when you guys were getting your rations and stuff like that too. That's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna try and hit it on the way if it was close.
Yeah, so you go and pick up your things, no problem.
Thank you.
On your guys' way back, now that things have kind of settled out and the rains have ceased a little bit more, I need to get my stuff in order here. Starting to clear away. You can definitely tell certain areas of the city have been affected more in unintended ways than others. The Trades Toe, particularly the Salt Pool Canals, Ware Warrens, kind of in the ways that I mentioned. Strolling along in the streets, kind of around the Salt Pool Canals as you're going past Ravelry Row, and then heading back up towards like the cartography shop, the Ware Warrens and stuff like that. You actually hear a screaming shout of "What in the hells?" Coming from a nearby alleyway.
Of course we go.
Yes,
Because that's just who we are.
Yeah.
Okay, so you turn around, turn the corner, and you see a bizarre mixture of sights.
A bazaar.
Yeah, a bizarre mixture of sights.
Oh,
You see in the small, slanted street. Firstly, you notice a large trough gouged in the street itself. Like a large slithering worm wore its way through the stone towards a stoppered-up sewage drain with a lot of like sewage and stuff like that. There's a fair bit of standing water in this alleyway, but you do see this like trough where it seems to have collected more of the water. About an inch or two of standing water, as I said, it remains in the alley with floating trash kind of coming around. Within the alleyway are a pair of burly humanoids who have appeared, one dwarf and one human, who appear to have been beating on a dirty and ragged man with red hair and bandaged arms. He's sort of floating prone on the thing. However, they've both dropped their bleeding and disheveled victim at the sight of what is emerging from the sewer drain. A large, coagulated and amorphous blob of gold and pink-colored material that is wobbling drunkenly towards them. The thing's surface sort of bubbles and broils and emits a delicious, sweet scent, followed by the cloying smell of rotten sweet fruit and acidic vomit. The large ooze lurches towards the surprised ruffians, and as it latches onto one ruffian's arm and the other's leg, one of them swipes at the ooze with like a rusted blade. You're kind of seeing this as you like turn the corner. It seems to part it, but not actually damage its bubbling surface, and the blade begins to like hiss and bubble itself. As it does, you can see that as it contacts them, you can see it dissolving armor, flesh, and bone alike. Yet each of the individuals does not seem to scream or be in pain. Instead, they seem to as they pull away, instinctively, they appear to be like dreamily smiling, just like with their pupils like the size of silver pieces. Just
Are these two individuals? Do you recognize them?
not immediately at first glance. This is all kind of happening. I'm just setting the scene really quickly. Simultaneously, from where it parted, the ooze seems to quiver and shift between split ends before splitting itself in two. One form heading towards the downed redhead, and the other lurching your way. We're gonna roll initiative.
Oh.
Go.
Oh.
Let's go. That's
All right.
not
You've been
bad.
rolling terrible tonight.
It's funny they're going to get tonight.
That's 3.
4 to count the next one.
Yeah, that's a fake one. 5 including this.
Alright, we're gonna, just so you guys have an easier chance of seeing the board, we're gonna remove these nice buildings and just keep the roofs so you guys get the footprint. Okay, bear with me for a second, guys. Alright, so we got this guy down the alleyway, who's the downed guy. We've got these two. These two who are kind of beating on him and now have one of the oozes kind of menacing them. And you guys have also got another ooze that's kind of coming your guys' way. So you guys turn this corner alley. It would have been about 2 people wide, going down to 1 person wide. So who's the first person around the corner?
We'll say it was me.
Okay.
What's the initiative rolls?
You don't know that. So first we do the marching order. So who would be behind Tennille?
Who would have followed me?
Aneka.
Okay, Renossus isn't here.
What?
Anetka.
Ring.
I don't know what I have on you before. I think this was like poison or something.
Being fabulous.
Okay. Flo next, Slate to follow, Cackler and back.
Yeah, that works.
Let me get initiative rolls on my end of things.
So we know not to hit it with blades.
I mean,
We
we
just
tried
run.
them.
Can we just leave?
And one of the oozes is lurching towards us.
Yeah, how quickly?
I mean, I'll just pick Flo up and we'll go. This is what the mirror blades of Soul Star.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying this is our responsibility.
I'm worried they just go after it with swords and then it's a bigger problem.
We're leaving anyway.
This is my lesson in making sure I give vigilant blessing to somebody when I wake up each day.
Okay.
I don't do that.
Start of the turn and give the vigilant blessing, huh? All right, 25 to 20.
22.
22 for Cackler. Okay. 20 to 15.
16.
That cut 16. 15 to 10.
13.
Tennille, 13. Okay. 10 to 5.
8.
7.
Flo with an 8. Slate with a 7. That covers everyone because Renostus is missing in action. Okay. So top of the round is the ooze.
Oh.
Bruh.
Oh, sorry. Actually, no. Cackler.
I was gonna say, hold up.
How did an ooze beat him?
How dexterous are these oozes?
I'm going to summon my flamethrower.
And noise it makes when it pops in.
Yep.
Okay. Are you putting it in your hands or are you summoning it somewhere else?
I'm gonna summon it
Can you guys see? Okay.
I can.
like in front of.
This roof is a
I'm
little
gonna summon it like right in front of a
Bit
Netka.
too short for
Tennille's
this.
on the closest, and the ooze is on
I'm
the
gonna summon it like right in front of a Netka.
That's perfect.
Okay. So you're gonna summon it right in front of an Atka. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You throw it down, and it reassembles into
Yep.
this catapulty flamethrower thing. Got it?
Yep. And I would like to shoot it.
Okay, 15-foot cone. It's within range, so it's a dex save, right?
Yep.
Dexy is this ooze.
Probably not with a 5.
Correct. Not Dexy enough. So take 7 fire damage.
7 points of fire damage. Got it.
And then it's gonna back up a little bit, kind of towards like those crates, so it's not just like right front and center. It's called self-preservation.
Got it. Okay.
That's what you named it.
All right. After Cackler is oops. This should be this. Let's like this. Oh man, I really wrong thing. Okay. There we go. Now it's the ooze's turn.
Nice.
So.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. You can do that.
Okay. The one ooze is going to go towards one of the ruffian guys, but it seems to be also just like inching toward the downed guy in the water. So it's going to make an attack.
Did the ruffian guys look like the same guys in the jewel stock board?
Again, you don't know, but you haven't seen them. You don't recognize them up at first glance. Okay, that was cockeyed, so I re-rolled. That is going to hit with a 17. And that is that. 2, 3, 4, 7. Okay, so it goes in, and again, it just like pulls away and dissolves a good portion of his like hip and upper rib cage. He is just like slotching down, and then he's just sort of like. All right, so that's it for that one's turn. Other one is going to attack Tennille.
Cool.
Oh, it's Daniel.
You're front and center.
That's me.
Don't think that's going to hit though. You kind of see it coming. That's an 11 to hit.
That does not hit.
Oh yeah, so it sort of like and lurches forward and just splashes against the water and the cobblestones below, and you see it like eating away some of the cobblestone below. You're like, "Oof, thank goodness it didn't touch me."
Stuff you say out loud.
All right, that's it for that turn. This guy is going to actually get closer, and he's going to I'm gonna touch it. And just like sticks his hand in and sees his fingers melting. He's like, I can see through my fingers! I can see through my fingers! So like his skin is just like dissolving and he's just like, this is hilarious.
That is awesome.
Cool.
Cool. Don't let it touch you.
And then it's like, oh. Alright, that's it for their turn. And they're looking more like pallid and gray as well. Just from a distance, at least. All right. The two guys who were touching the thing. All right. Anetka, you're up. Tennille on deck.
Speaking of self-preservation, I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay. So, whoosh, get your glowy knitted garment, which looks extra nice with your cloak.
Oh.
Yeah, you get Mage Armor up. All right.
I'm definitely within 5 feet.
Yep. Tennille, you're up. Flo's on deck.
I'm gonna kind of.
What was that, Anetka?
Oh, no, sorry. I misremembered initiative.
Skirt around it.
Okay.
Staying within 5 feet of it.
Got it.
And then I'm gonna cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay.
And kind of have it pop up next to me and.
Attack from the spiritual weapon.
That's a 12. I don't know if that's gonna hit.
That hits. It's an ooze.
Oh, okay. Well.
Oozes have terrible armor class.
Where's
Who's
that?
with plate now?
That's going to be 9 force damage.
9 force damage. Very nice.
That guy, and then I'm actually going to take the dodge action.
Okay. And you take the dodge action. Wah, 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 wah. I'm ready. That's what I imagine you say when you take the dodge action.
Wah, 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 wah.
I'm ready.
Waluigi.
Yeah.
Alright, Flo, you're up with Slate on deck.
There are boxes next to me.
That's correct.
I'm gonna try and hop and skip up to the very top.
Okay. Make a acrobatics check.
Hop and skip check.
Wow.
Oh, this is an ability check.
Is it? It is.
Acrobatics check?
Acrobatics.
Oh!
Thank you.
19.
Yeah, no problem. With like a 1-2 woof land on them, no problem. You scale up to the top.
And I'm gonna...
Nika makes that noise.
Oh!
I'm gonna...
Look at you!
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna try something.
Yep.
I'm gonna cast Shape Water at the ooze in front of us and try and change it, see if I can change its color.
It is not made of water.
Okay, there's no water at all in whatever component is made out of?
It is, but in the same way that there's water in a human body, and you can't just like manipulate that with shape water.
Wild.
Okay.
There's water all around you in the like alleyway.
Okay.
Would you like to kind of shift a little bit? I'll kind of allow that.
Okay. Then I will... Well, I guess that's 2 actions. I'll freeze the water just underneath the ooze to see if it does something.
Okay, so you...
Yeah.
And it freezes. But it seems to stay frozen.
Okay.
Okay,
Well done.
that's it for your turn?
That's my experimental turn.
No, it's good. It's good. It's always good to test what you can do. Slate, you're up. Cackle, you're on deck.
I left you space.
But is that where I want to go?
Got that shiny new glaive.
Get out of here, buddy. You know, I'll use it with my brand, but no. I will move, I guess, next to the spiritual weapon.
Okay, so kind of moving past.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and swim by.
As you get further into the alley, like the pooling of the water and the like garbage is starting to become like difficult terrain. So where you're at now and like onward is more difficult terrain. Just so you're aware.
Okay. And I'm gonna hack at it.
Okay, what are you hacking at with?
Hatchet, I guess.
Yeah, the beast cleaver, cow cleaver.
Cleaver of cows. Oh, it's easier.
Okay, attack roll, go.
This might still hit. Does an 11 hit?
It does. You take 5 points of acid damage in return as you. And then
That is unfortunate. And that is also unfortunate. That'll be 6 total damage.
6 points of damage. So you. It's slashing damage, right?
It's a hatchet, so I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's a hand. It's
axe.
hand axe. I think is what
That's slashing damage.
which is slashing damage, which is what I'm asking. So it parts the ooze, and then it just sort of re-stitches itself. You get the effect that you get the sense that you didn't do anything meaningful to it.
Good to know. Good to know.
That it for your turn?
Bold of you to assume I have other actions.
Well, you could do a bonus action to do your thing or something else. Take a potion. I don't know. All right, Cackler, you're up.
All right. Well, you guys have kind of occupied my flamethrower space, so it's not really unfortunate for that one. But I will just cast. Actually, I'm not gonna cast anything. I'm gonna see. Can I see past them at all? Like not in a meaningful sense to like fire something, but like just kind of see what's going on the other end of that.
Not very easily now. There's a floating scythe spiritual weapon and a big slate and an ooze. So you can see some, like, that there's shapes back there, but not the specifics.
Is there another crate next to the one it flows on?
Kind of. It's stacked together. There's like two underneath and a third on top.
Pop up just kind of on the edge of one and see if I can see over them.
There's not enough space for you to like stand there.
Okay.
It'd be like leaping off kind of space, but there's only like a like 1 foothold's worth.
Okay. Sure. Then I'll fire a firebolt at this thing.
At the ooze in front of you. Okay. Attack roll, go.
Nope, not one.
No.
Unfortunately, no.
Bro, it's either not one or
So
not.
it goes. It just like hisses with some steam into the
Really.
into the water that's in the alley. All right.
I assume. Is there any way I could like angle it like just directly across this way and not hit Slate with my flamethrower?
With a 15-foot cone, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think you'd have a harder time not hitting one of your friends in this situation.
That's not what I figured. All right.
Okay. So that's it for that. So next are the oozes again. So this one, the far ooze, is going to attack the downed guy.
Wow, I think I'm this down.
That does seem like something that we do.
Yeah, that's definitely a hit. So yeah, you just you don't even hear like a scream or anything like that. You just like hear some from the far side. Slate, you'd kind of see what's going on in the corner of your eye in the middle of the combat. The other one is going to what's going to attack? We'll just randomize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
What are your words in this?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. All right, Slate, it's you.
That's you.
You can't hit me.
Don't say things like that.
I mean, you were right in this case. I rolled a 7,
I said it after he rolled. See, that's the big thing.
so it's just like, and you step away again, avoiding the worst of whatever this thing is doing. The guys who are up next are beginning to like stumble and crawl away. The one guy's the dwarf. His leg got destroyed, so he's just like crawling in, like face down in the water, and he's just like, "Look, I'm paddling. I'm paddling. Look, I'm paddling, man."
And the ooze didn't slap him on the left.
Can I use my vocal action to cheer for him? You got this! Woo!
This one is just like walking slowly. He's just like, "Hey guys, I feel so good."
Isn't he missing like a decent portion of his chest cavity?
That was the dwarf.
No.
The dwarf hit it.
This guy's the guy who stuck his hand into it and was like, I can see through my fingers.
Because they're gone.
Yeah, so he's missing like the first half of his hand on his left and all of his right arm. Alright, so that's it for their turns. They're just kind of meandering around. Actually, like, as it accelerates, it's like, as you can see their condition, like, worsening and stuff like that. The guy who's still standing, he looks like his skin is, like, really pallid, really thin and stretched over his face. And you can see, like, a pinkish rot forming at the... pinkish-black rot forming at the connection points of where he touched it, or where it touched him. He's like, there's more over here. That's so good. That's so great, man. Oh, I feel weird. So that's it for their turns. So Netka, your turn. To kneel on deck.
She'll start rubbing her hands together, creating that static electricity, and casting Witch Bolt at the ooze in front of me.
Okay, attack roll.
What's my plus to hit? What's my plus to hit?
Probably plus
What's her plus?
No, plus 7 for you.
Plus 8.
Yep.
Yeah. 15.
Yep, that hits. And roll damage.
Okay, and that is...
D12 lightning.
Yes. That is 5 points of lightning damage, and
Okay.
that continues to stay on him.
Yep. So, similarly with Slate's thing, you just like the lightning pierces through it and just leaves like a hole and just reseals itself.
Okay.
You don't get the sense that lightning did anything.
Not lightning.
Cool.
Alrighty, so that's it for your turn?
Yes.
Okay, Tennille, you're up.
Just fine.
Flow on deck.
Toll the dead. I'm one in front of me. So that is a wisdom save for that guy, I believe.
The ooze or the guy?
Both the ooze.
You said guy, so I just want to clarify. Wisdom saving throw, you said,
Right
right?
out of his misery.
That's a 7.
That's a
Very
fail.
wise thing.
So he's gonna take. Oh, that's very cocked. Let's try it again. Oh dang! It's take 1 necrotic damage.
So it's like, boom, and it just like wibbles a little bit.
It's like a little jingle belly.
Yeah,
All right. Well, then I'm gonna spiritual weapon him.
go for it.
That is probably gonna hit 9 plus 6.
Oh,
so
yeah.
15, and then raise my D8.
We got a hot AC of 7.
Damn.
So,
Okay.
not hard to miss.
Literally cannot miss.
Yeah, that one still fails, but yeah.
6, so that's 10 force damage on that.
10 force damage. All right, so that one, it seems to like clear a silver arc like through it, and it doesn't seem to be reforming there. This one looks damaged, but like it's still got a good amount of ooziness to it.
And then
for
for my, I'm gonna use my vocal action to yell, "Souls Guard! Somebody! We need help!" And yeah, that's it for my turn.
Did it look like Toll the Dead did anything?
My one.
Did
Very little.
1 damage worth of like drippingness, but yes, it did do so. Okay, Flo, you're up with Slate on deck.
I'm gonna experimental thing.
Okay,
I'm going
let's do it. I love it.
dump my
Ah,
water
you can do
skin onto one of my scimitars and freeze the water around the blade.
Okay. So you do that.
I'm assuming that probably takes my whole action.
That's an action, yeah. Okay, you got it frozen. Frozen.
I knew you were gonna say it.
Yeah, you've frozen your scimitar.
That's frozen.
All right, Slate, you're up.
What's the distance from me to the down guy?
The downed guy.
Yeah.
Down guy or the
The
other calling towards you?
red guy.
The red guy. 1, 2, 6. I'd say probably 30 to 35 feet, depending on how you're able to maneuver. But it's difficult terrain, so you'd have to dash to get there.
Would it be?
Like within a dash, I'll give it to you, sure. Kind of have to step over the guy, but since you're 8 feet and it's a dwarf, it's probably not that hard for you.
There's only a captain left anyway. Had an eyebrow.
Slate's a large lad.
Mhm.
Would it be? Can he just like lift himself up onto a roof nearby? As an
There's a
action.
building here.
Yeah, there is that building there. As an action, you want to lift yourself up and move? Yeah, with a little bit of a jump, you're able to do it. So go ahead and make a athletics check.
God damn it! Natural 1.
Okay, so you like reach up and you grab and it just and you fall prone in the water.
Oh, in the shit water.
There,
Just shot her.
beside the ooze.
Oh, that actually got the funny across.
So sorry, bud. Good idea, but the
Natural 1.
natural one thwarted you. All right, Cackler, top of the round.
I'm just gonna do the same. Or actually, no. I'm gonna step back into the thoroughfare and repeat what Tennille said. Souls Guard, anyone, help, help, help. I'm just like trying to get people's attention.
Okay.
And then then I'll shoot him with the fireball.
Okay, attack roll.
Mostly because I don't want us to be found here and be
Brother!
doing this.
Another not one.
Oh
What is going on?
Sorry, man, that's rough.
Oh.
It's bright with the light coming back, shining off all the water. It's in your eyes, and you just like
man.
and shooting it everywhere into the water.
Hey, at least it probably
Not hitting any buddies,
At least
so
it
we'll
probably
take
made
that.
some noise. It draws some more attention.
Yeah, I mean this is a busy area in general,
Yeah.
dock workers and stuff, but we'll see.
Okay. Oh. What I'll do is I'll aim my flamethrower and just straight in the air and like try to get like a big plume of flame going.
Okay, so there's roofs above you, so you could do that, but you'd have a high chance of setting something on fire,
Okay.
which would draw stuff.
Could I try not to?
It's
Like,
a cone,
15 feet. Like, how wide is this alleyway?
10 to 15 feet, so...
You've not been rolling great tonight.
No, I've rolled either nat 20s or nat 1s all night. Would either awesomely succeed or horribly fail.
Just, I mean, we're near the entrance to the alley. Just roll it out and shoot it up.
True, can I just like take it a few steps back and
So it would provoke an attack of opportunity if it moves out of its space right now. You also don't have a great path of movement because Tennille,
That's
the
fair,
boxes, and Anetka and the ooze have kind of boxed
Okay,
it.
that's fair. Now it'll just vibe there.
Okay. Sorry, man. Tough rolls. That's hard.
No.
The two of you together.
You roll me in that one. Take it back.
All right. The ooze over here seems to,
No.
Squelch.
and it just sort of hugs, and you just see like spinal column and like shoulder blades just start to dissolve, and yeah, this guy's done.
This goose is cooked.
As he got closer, did he resemble the ones from?
You got a lot that you're focusing on between. You can't really see too much. There's like remains. It's not just like completely nothing.
Or the remaining brass knuckles?
You'll have to find out later. So it's moving closer. Yeah, it's moving. It's like 20 feet closer. And it dissolved him, so that's its turn. And then the action for this one, who do we got? We got Slade on the ground, and then so we got one. Is Anetka within 5 feet still? I think she is.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 again. So just roll. All right, Anetka, it's you.
That's you.
That's me.
Natural 1.
Woo!
So, I mean, this ooze isn't rolling very well either, even though you guys aren't as well. So it's just
Another fill, right?
just all over the water. All right, the remaining guy over here at this point, he goes up, and he's just like, let me have it. And he's like kind of pushing past Tennille, trying to get towards the ooze with his like one half hand. He's just like, and he just like vomits all over your back. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, you know that vomit's acidic.
That's a 6. I don't miss that.
That's a fail. You take 9 points of acid damage,
Ooh,
as this is
wow.
like severely, like
He's unhealthy.
burningly acidic.
How did his stomach even hold that?
Yeah,
Not
well.
well.
not well, not for long. All right, so that's it for their turns. We covered all that. So Anetka, Tennille on deck.
Netka will sort of concentrate, and then you see two almost boner ivory-looking knitting needles go up towards the ooze.
I heard.
Gonna cast a chill touch.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Chill touch on who?
The nearest ooze.
Okay, so since you're within 5 feet, it's at disadvantage because it's an attack roll within 5 feet.
I'll go for the.
It does any attack roll that's ranged that you make whilst any enemies within 5 feet is at disadvantage, even if you're not at them.
Okay.
I mean, it's an
But
ooze.
you might as well. I mean, it's AC is 7, so
Yeah.
go for it.
17, 11, which would, lowest roll is an 18.
Yep, that definitely hits.
And then you see, as the knitting needles go in, it sort of pulls like black necrotic threads out of the ooze and sort of knits like black necrotic energy around it.
You're like shadow stitching this thing. Okay.
For 1 whole point of necrotic damage, but it can't regain hit points.
Got him.
You know, like the oozes with all their healing.
There you go. You do get it. So you did do the 1 point of necrotic damage. All right, team. We got to rally with these rolls. Here we go. Who's up next?
It's me.
Tennille.
Alright.
Flow on deck.
Well, that boy. Do it.
Toll the dead again. Wisdom save.
Wisdom saving throw. Oh, I might actually save. 14?
That's my spell save to see.
I saved.
Boo! Alright.
With a -2. Ha!
Spiritual weapon.
Got him.
Super wise.
That's a nat 20 on my
There you
spiritual
go.
Hey!
weapon.
Alright, double the damage dice. Let's see it. Very
Swear to
nice.
God, if you roll a 1.
Roll it. And
You
then
can do
roll
it.
Right?
Roll it and then double the value.
And then don't forget your
So that's a
There you
10
go.
plus 4, so 14 force damage on that guy.
14 points of force damage. This thing is looking like it's got only a little bit left of it. You're just like crushing through its
Scything it to death.
thing. Yeah, it's like scything through, but it's not being able to repair itself or re-stitch itself. So you're pulling a big damage weight here. All right, Flo, you're up. You got your frosted scimitar. What are you doing?
Okay, I'm gonna. Am I able to stand on top of Cackler's weapon?
Not easily. I would say it'd be an acrobatics check.
Could like
It'll bite you.
leap off of a Nitka and then like.
Well, can I do like a Mario bounce off of it down next to
Boy?
the block?
You can leap down
that's
over
it,
a
that's it,
Netka.
right?
Oh, okay.
There,
I'm
there.
gonna
You're
grab
5
one,
feet
leap him
tall.
down, use the ice blade. to
Okay,
try
make an
and-
acrobatics check. I love it.
Please don't.
Okay.
that one.
She does that. Where her legs
I have
disappear
to. I have
inside.
to submit on ability checks. Dang it.
Oh no!
Curse it!
Ah!
Okay, so you kind of like kick Anetka in the head and stumble
Sorry.
down into it, laying like some of it splashes on you. So you're gonna take 3 points of acid damage.
I have resistance to acid.
Okay, so you take 1 point of acid damage. How do you have resistance to acid damage?
Is it
Water
Genasi?
genocide?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Nicholas,
So you're-
these things are no longer acid damage.
Yeah. You're no, I thought it would be cold damage for some reason for water genasi. But you're laying there, but you can still make your attack while you're prone. It'll be disadvantage,
Just
but you're already at
stab it.
Okay, disadvantage.
She was already there anyway, so.
Well, actually not, because she's she wouldn't have been because.
Oh, it's the movement.
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Good. It is with disadvantage. Sorry, I was answering Branson's.
Is it because I'm like down on
Yes.
the ground?
It's too many. Yes, it's because you're down on the ground.
Oh! Okay.
Doesn't
You're
sound
good.
AC,
Yeah,
so-
19.
19. That's a hit. Go ahead and roll.
Okay.
If you triple their AC.
Okay.
And I have a friend close to me, so I get my.
Yeah.
Sneak attack bonuses.
Ow.
You have several friends close to
Okay.
you.
So I have.
And before they said, both of you have seen my friend.
What type of damage does this do?
If I'm just
Slashing.
stabbing it, it's technically slashing for a scimitar, but
But it's an isotope.
yeah.
It's cold damage. You spent a turn making it cold damage.
Okay, roll your damage.
Okay.
Let's see how worthless it is. Oh.
14.
Okay, that is enough to kill it.
Woo!
However, as you stabbed it straight through, it even gets it through the ice. It's on a -1 penalty to damage rolls. The scimitar.
Okay.
So you
So
did.
did the ice feel like it did anything to help save the sword?
Good thing I just got a book
Hard to
of
know.
warfare.
It's hard to know, but yeah, you did get
So
it.
-1 on damage.
-1 on damage rolls with that scimitar. So
Okay. So I don't.
and it just
I'm not be able to return.
Is that to like the dice I roll, or is that to like?
that's the damage dice. The damage dice.
To
So
hit?
when you not to hit, to damage.
So.
So once you've hit, then you roll the damage dice. Subtract 1 from the result.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, that's it for that one. And one of these guys is down. Okay, Slate, you're up. Half your movement to stand up.
Alright. I'm gonna point at it and shoot it. With fire. What is it called again? It's the ray that
Rays.
has their sight.
Ray of Enfeeblement.
Enfeeblement.
Okay. Is that an attack roll, or is it a saving throw? I feel like rays are usually attack rolls, but I feel like this one might be the exception.
Yeah.
Because you're enfeebling it. You know.
This one does. This
That's what it is. Yeah.
That's fine.
Attack roll.
An attack that I shot.
Yeah.
How did I can't roll well tonight at all.
3.
Funnily enough, that probably still hits with a 7.
That does hit. So you're just sort of like, and you're sort of like, and it sort of shivers and begins to almost like be weighted down. So it is enfeebled.
Right.
What is that, for sure?
Half damage.
Half damage on all strength-based attacks.
So none of these are.
I don't know.
It has to hit you for you guys to find out.
I think it was it like...
It's fine.
Here or like, yeah, it's fine.
Thank you.
It's dissolving the cobblestone.
And it can make recurring con saving throws to end the effect. Okay. That's it for Slate's turn. Cackler. That is you.
I'll try and move out of the
Cool.
way if possible too, so people can do their thing to it.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Okay, so I have line of sight on this thing. The dwarf is like completely gone.
He's dead, yeah.
He's dead, but does he have a face?
It's face down in the water.
Don't question my motives, alright?
More your sanity, but
Cool. Does he have a head?
Not that you can see, there's news in the way.
remember he went over it to get to
Oh,
us.
Yeah.
that's right. Okay. I'll climb up on top of the boxes, or I'll attempt to.
Okay,
Is
acrobatics.
that an action or a bonus action?
It's part of your movement. Acrobatics.
Okay. Yeah, that should be probably fine, right?
Let's find out.
14?
Yep, that's enough. You get there.
Cool. Alright, I'll firebolt it from up there.
Okay, attack roll. Go.
Or I'll attempt to firebolt it. Okay, there we go. 19.
That hits. Roll damage.
If I did another nat 1, I was going to be upset.
Understandably.
There's the one.
Oh, sorry, man.
Damage.
Oh.
Rough.
We'll roll
I mean,
it.
it's like a little like feather of flame that just like, you know.
Like, it kind of dissipates the second it hits it. Just...
But it does do damage. You do see it like sort of as part of it gets like singed.
That's nice. That's a good memento.
Okay.
I'm gonna once again do my yelling action. Like instead of it being out at the people in the back, if I'm yelling down at Tennille, get out of the way, like of my flamethrower.
I plan on it, man. I plan on it.
Got it.
You have
Okay.
not, you have not moved in 4 turns.
I couldn't move.
Yeah, she was kind of locked in. All right, now it's the user's turn.
Right.
I'm gonna get locked in again. Let's just say that.
Move in.
I'm gonna have to sacrifice all of you for the good of my flamethrower.
All right. One.
That's about right.
Oh, one. That's not right.
It's a very good thing I'm an avocation wizard in the other campaign, so I wasn't. I'll be making calculus.
All right, attack on Slate. Can I hit? Natural. Oh.
You can't touch me.
This is my magic item IRL, the Dice of Karma.
Yeah, I guess so. Wow. Okay, that's it for that user's turn. The guy is going to try and
Yes.
bite Tennille.
Rally.
My
Oh, that guy.
All that vomit.
12 to hit.
That does not hit.
Okay.
Right.
He's like,
Does he miss the flaw of use?
no.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, you. That's it for that. So
Who's misses and falls a day.
next up is
He's
a net cap. Tennille and I.
So anyway, I can see news.
Where are you?
The Ush.
Yeah, I think the flamethrower thing is actually small
Okay.
size, so you can see over it.
Okay. She'll want to do more damage with this. This time she'll pull out, or she'll conjure the knitting needles again, head towards the ooze, and cast Chill Touch.
Kill
Okay.
touch.
Normal attack roll this time.
Kill word.
So go ahead.
Kill
Power
Touch.
word kill.
Well,
It's less
rolling
than
a 5, that's
If you have any bonuses, basically.
yeah, I have a +8 to
Yeah,
hit.
that's 13. You hit.
I hit.
You hit.
I hit.
D8.
Must be nice.
8.
Hey! There we go, guys. This time it just and you see it just like a part of it just like slough off. All right, that's it for your turn, Tennille.
I'm not within 5 feet of the ooze. I don't think I am.
Yes, you were the other option.
I was the other option?
The thing doesn't have the weapon doesn't block people's spaces.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well,
for the
I'm going to
confusion.
go ahead and take attack of opportunity and try to move around this dude and get behind him.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength check with advantage.
Okay.
You're pushing past him more or less,
It's my
but he is.
That'd be 20.
He's half a person.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot going for him as far as the strength
Thank
department and his physicality.
Well, that's a 5.
Oof.
Okay.
With advantage, I rolled a 5
Yeah.
and a 3.
You're shoving past him, and he's like trying to bite you, and you're trying to avoid being bitten. So I would
Bite
say
him back.
not quite as successful.
Alright, well, I'm gonna have my weapon kind of sink down into the ground and pop up on the other side of this guy
Cool.
at the very least. And then I'm going to
Attack roll that.
smack it.
Go for it.
Smack it.
It's an 11, so that hits.
Yep.
That's what you do with sides. You smack
So
people.
that's 10 force damage.
Hey,
and
there you
then-
go. The
Nice.
scythe is carrying the whole fight.
And then I'm gonna toll the dead on it.
Nice. Okay. Wisdom saving throw, right?
He's like the blunt I did.
5.
Just slap him.
3 necrotic damage.
Okay. Making progress.
Hey, that's more damage than I've done like all combat.
I literally can't do damage.
So that's it for your turn, Tennille. So next up is Flo with Slate on deck.
Stand up.
Okay, happy movement to do that.
Yep, which isn't very much. So I have like one square movement left.
Yep.
Dang. Can't really get close now.
That's always a bad sign.
I'm gonna take
Getting flamethrowers.
a
Good
step
times.
back.
Y'all
You're gonna take a step back.
Yep.
Okay.
And
I tried. I tried.
hold a dodge action.
You can just take the dodge action.
Okay.
Hold the dodge.
You can't really. Yeah, the dodge action's not really one you can hold that much. You can just take the dodge action, and you'll be at disadvantage to be hit. Great. All right, Slate. What are you doing, bud? Remember, help and dodge are good actions too.
Disengage.
Disengage.
What the heck is the health option?
You help someone with the next thing that they're attempting to do.
You give them advantage. on the
Giving
next
an
thing.
advantage.
Yes.
I didn't know
That's
that.
literally
Read your
never
book.
been-
Read your books. That's because you don't read the rules. Gotta read
Like,
the rules.
we've been playing this
Okay.
campaign for 2.5 years, and this has never come up.
Read the
But
rules,
they're not
man.
that helpful.
That's
I don't
valid.
think Valve here ever do anything other than attack.
True.
Well, I'm gonna move out of the way.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the dodge action. Move out of the way.
You can
Disengage or dodge?
If you disengage, you don't provoke an attack of opportunity.
No, I'm gonna dodge.
Okay. And where do you want to go? Just back?
Yeah, I'm getting out of the way. I'll probably.
Mouth of the alleyway by
Sure.
flow.
Sure.
Okay. So attack of opportunity from the ooze with
I
disadvantage
wanna see. I wanna see.
with a nat 20 and a 7. So that's a
There's
fail.
no way he's getting 2 nat 20s.
Yeah. Hey, I did it against my brother when I was playing the game.
That's right, you did.
Really tempted fate there.
But anyway, you successfully dodge out of the way.
I have nothing else to do other than
And
There you go.
you didn't take the coin.
On its turn, it would have been able to save against your thing. Your
Tonight would not have been my night.
Constitution saving throw. What's the DC?
No, you'd be dead if you
I
had the
believe
coin.
13.
Okay, I got a 20, so it's freed itself.
Why'd you even ask?
I got a 45. But what's your check?
It's polite. Come on, guys. It's part of the real process. Okay, that's it for Slate's turn. Cackler, you're up.
Okay.
Come on, Nate.
Can I move my little turret so it's facing him now and
Yeah.
straight? Let's go.
Go for it.
All right. Scorched earth.
Dex saving throw.
Dodge this.
I might actually.
Please
With
don't.
-3, I got a 16.
Damn it. It's still half damage.
Okay.
See?
Dexterous ooze. It's like whoa, and like bends in a very.
It still takes 5 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, I rolled twice.
No.
5 fire damage.
5 points of 5 damage. Got it.
And then I'll
Firebolt it.
Yeah.
Okay. Attack roll.
I'll try to. There we go. Still not great, but 14 hits.
That hits. Roll damage.
Gosh, God.
You can do it.
There we go. 8 fire damage.
8 fire damage. That's looking better. This thing's looking like it's starting to get worn down.
That's good.
I'm still standing though. Okay. It's
Is my thing within 5 feet of it?
yes.
It's gonna back up.
Okay.
Wait, no, it won't. No,
It
it'll be
will.
back.
It already
Go in
tried to get me. It doesn't have another attack.
Oh, true. Yeah, I will.
Okay. It's gonna move over
Big brain.
and attack Daniil.
Hey.
21.
That hits. That hits.
Okay.
It's really great or good.
I don't like the amount of dice I just heard.
All right. 9 bludgeoning damage.
There's a strength component. It just passed my save before it matters.
Holy crap.
That's
Holy crap, he
7.
says.
I'm probably going down.
27 acid damage.
Whoa!
That's more
So it's
That-
36 points damage total.
That is
Is that
more
enough?
than 20.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
You're dead.
I am.
You instant killed him?
That is so. What was the first one?
9.
35.
So I had 7 points of health back, and
Uh-huh.
then what was the?
27.
Okay, not instant.
So you'd be at -20.
I'm at -20. I'm at
Jesus.
-20.
Holy crap. That scared me.
The level you've lost your last cleric?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. Are you wearing any armor that's yeah.
I'm wearing
You're-
hide armor.
Okay. It's at -1 armor class.
Okay.
You also need to make a con saving throw. I rolled 8883 on its 48.
17 on the
my
con
God.
save.
Okay, so you resist. For a second, you feel like a sickly sweetness overcome you as you're about to fall into consciousness, and then it fades, and then you fall into
Yeah, like it
unconsciousness.
really would have mattered as an unconscious state.
All right. Wow.
So
Jesus.
Sorry for the brutal roll. All right.
He's not sorry.
He's not.
I am sorry.
No, he's not.
Don't put words in my mouth. I am sorry. I wouldn't want to. I don't want to kill any
In all
characters.
fairness, I wouldn't be. Like, in his shoes, I wouldn't be.
All right. This guy's moving around,
I've been rolling that one's on.
and then he is going to just bite the ooze, and you just like
Yes.
what the result is you just see his like teeth and jaws and like skin just slough off, and he's just with like empty neck, and he just falls into
Nice.
pieces.
At least he can't bite you anymore. Or throw up on you.
All right, someone's got to put out some healing, man. Okay, that's it for that's their turns. So Anetka, you're up to kneel and dead.
I will. I think I have enough movement to, since this is actually small, to move around and get to Tennille.
I'll say yes. Yeah,
Um,
it's not trying to resist you, so
More pots and more pots, and just start like kind of bandaging the wounds and use a healer's kit to stabilize them.
Okay, nice. You are
I
stable.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you are
'cause-
stable. But you do see big, worn, like dissolved away patches of skin where it made contact.
Yeah, kind of use some of the wool to like pat away some of the acid.
All right,
No,
that's
it's like the memoir.
that's it for Anetka's turn. To Neil, you're up. Oh,
I'm back.
you're stable though, right? So
I'm stable.
no test.
That's more than a lot of people in real life.
All right, Flo, you're up with Slate on deck.
That's too deep.
All right, come on, you two. Let's get back to the table a little bit, please. All right, Flo, you're up. Slate on deck.
I'm gonna come up to the ooze and slash it with my sword.
Okay.
Oops. Stab it.
Okay. Same one.
Same one that I used before.
Okay. Attack roll.
Is it still frosted?
At this point, no.
Alright.
22.
22 hits.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll
I have a
damage.
friend.
And you do have friends, so go ahead and roll.
So I'll roll the first one. Take away 1, 3. 10 plus 3, 13.
13 points of damage. I'm going to say it at least has resistance towards this type of damage. So that's going to put it at its very last little bit, but still got it standing. And you get another -1 penalty to your weapon.
Can I disengage as my bonus action?
You can, because you're a rogue.
Good times.
Alrighty. That's it for your turn. Slate, you're up.
Would I recognize that it's, on its last legs?
Yes, it is looking like it's dripping and dissolving into the water. There's much less of it than it was before. And it seems to be sort of like flailing around.
Okay. So, question, because I've never actually used the halberd.
Uh-huh.
Is it, it's like an axe head and like the tip of a spear?
Yeah.
Can I stab with it?
Yeah, I'll allow that in the same way for half damage, if you want to.
Before I do that, I'm going to use my bonus action. Yeah, I do want to do that. I use my bonus action to activate my tattoo
Okay, cool.
and,
Nice.
hit it from 15 feet away.
Yeah, so in this case, the tattoos come out, you pull out the big long halberd, and it is extending forward, and you make a thrust, and you see, like, the air part, and you can actually see the water, like, in the trough of the alley, just swoosh out as you're, like, striking forward. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
How tall is the letter roll now?
Don't even say it. Come on, you got this, Brandon.
Say that.
Come on, Brandon, roll! You can do it!
It's a 9 or a
so
6.
that hits.
Either way.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
Roll damage.
What was it, D10?
Add your bonus? Oh, you're not at that stage yet, right?
No, I'm not. So, speaking of bonus, it'll be 3 damage after being halved?
Yeah, so 3 damage is enough. So you and just part it, and with the reach effect, in your case, the weapon's actually not really making contact. So I'd say you're actually safe from the dissolving effect.
That was the hook.
So good call there. So yeah, and it explodes into a bunch of little driplets. All
Right, that's...
right, so that's it for combat. What's everyone doing?
Does the
Chefs?
water seem contaminated with all this?
At this point, it's pretty washed out and dissolved.
I'm gonna roam up.
There's
to...
like little coagulated little pools, like almost like pools of oil and water, where it's like multicolored, except it's more pink and gold.
Okay. I'm gonna hop down and go over to the dwarf who's face down and dead, but roll over and see if that's the dwarf that's been hanging out in the Jewel's top ward.
It does not appear to be, from what you're able to recognize. It just looks like a random burly dwarf.
Damn, what a waste.
Hang on, let's let everyone else do other stuff. So what's everyone else doing?
Flo's like not really knowing what to do, but she's gonna go over to Neil and cast create or destroy water, but try to just like rush water over him and use shape water to like clean his body off to get some of that acid off.
Okay, yeah, that's a cool idea. Yeah, you definitely see like you're able to wash him
Like,
clear of
clean
the
it off and
clear it
everything
off
around
and stuff
him.
like that. Yeah, and like part the waters a little bit to make sure nothing splashes further on him. Nice. All right.
I just got Chirps.
Aneka, Slate.
Here. Chirp now.
What do you need me for?
Only one of us that can heal.
I guess I'll cast Cure Wounds.
Okay, roll a d8.
How nice of you.
You get 1 health.
Oh my gosh. You can tell he's reluctant to
don't
do
have
something
any
other than
bonus?
explode.
Oh no, wait, what modified to cure?
You would add your intelligence modifier.
Oh,
You can tell who doesn't heal.
Yeah, I know. Four health. Back.
4 health
Oh, I
back.
am up to 4 health.
Reluctantly, the cackler brings you back to consciousness.
I was in the middle of doing things. You guys can't
I
wait.
feel the bitterness in that healing.
In that
like,
healing.
I come
But
out
you do
like,
come back, and the pain is surprisingly a little bit receded more than what you might expect given the amount of trauma, thanks to Flo and Anetka's combined efforts there. So you're back to consciousness. What's everyone else doing?
As soon as he comes back, Anetka's gonna kind of shake. Don't do that again.
I didn't do anything.
Don't fail
Yeah,
again.
you didn't dodge.
Damn.
Sorry.
Don't
Disrespect.
leave me.
While you guys are all kind of gathering yourselves, you see just sort of like a...
Yes.
And the guy at the far end of the alley stands up.
Yes. Rally.
You see him, and a few of you might actually recognize him. He's barefoot, tattered clothes. There seems to be, and he's kind of looking around, there's like some wreckages of pieces of wood that he's got together, and he kind of gathers. He's got bandaged arms and stuff like that. This is the guy with the protesting sign that you saw a few turnings ago, who was shouting for unity between the two reaches. And he says, well, that was... thank you for coming to my aid. I don't know what happened to these... What did you do to these two? What? They were beating on me, and then they just stopped and shouted. Some Souls Guard walked by, but they didn't really like what I had to say, so they kind of just left anyway.
I'm just gonna
And
kiss
they were-
my bicycle.
What did you...
We didn't
you might
do-
be up for murder.
We didn't do anything. It
Big
was.
old bites, just, no.
Is there any of the ooze left in the alley? Like any?
There's pool... Like I said, there's like pools of kind of like pinkish oil, but that's about it. It's an ooze in a watery alley. Once it's gone, it's kind of dispersing.
I'm gonna try to like take out the Lorberite stone and like touch it to the nearest oil
Sure.
slick.
Yeah. You do get a...
Okay.
And you say, wow, what interesting. I think it's time for my voice to be heard somewhere other than Solni. I appreciate your assistance, though. I'm Viram the voice, some call me. What happened?
Would you believe two acidic oozes coming, or one acidic ooze coming out from the sewer that got split into two acidic oozes? I frankly don't know how you are still alive. One of them was coming after you.
Some call me lucky, I guess, but yeah, wow. Weirder things have happened, but
They have.
I appreciate your help. And you see, he looks like, dirty and like sodden from the alley, so he's pretty gross looking and stuff like that. But his bandages and stuff like that up his arms seem still intact, and his red hair is disheveled and stuff like that. And he kind of just looks down at his like sign pieces that he had. It looks like they like smashed him with it or else broke it. The two ruffians who were roughing him up. Well, I guess good riddance to them. It's time for me to find somewhere that'll appreciate what I have to say. I think Solni's got to learn a few harder lessons before it's ready to hear the truth. Well, I would pay or reward you if I had anything to give, but I'm not much as it is, so I'll be making my way out. But thank you for the assist. I really appreciate it.
I'll give him a fist bump as he's going by.
Just, okay.
Follow up.
Well, good day to all of you. And he kind of limp in out of the alley and continuing on his way to the main part of the street to continue down the Werewarren's section.
Well,
Get out of here.
We should go to the guy who came to see us. Ogun.
Ogun, Starcrown.
Starcrown, because
The captain of the Souls Guard.
that looked like the stuff that came out of the gnome.
yeah, and
Also,
that guy
haven't we seen people with their skin stretched like these guys? on the
Yeah,
ground?
we should get out of here, but
Yeah,
we
let's
should
leave.
go
But
tell
let's
him.
go maybe straight there.
Okay. So with a new vector in mind for your destination, you guys are ready to present some more evidence, perhaps, to Captain Ogun Starcrown, who is investigating these pink tooths and the evidence of similar individuals who are exhibiting similar symptoms, we're going to go ahead and end our session there. It's about 9:30, so a good time to stop right here after this combat. And we'll pick up with what happens following up that investigation next time. So thank you very much for you guys who watched at home. Again, my name is Nicholas. It's been Dragon Poet Society. You can find us on YouTube and at DragonPoetSociety.com, on Instagram, all sorts of things like that. And we'll be back next week, hopefully with a cat to rejoin us. Hopefully get better, cat, if you're watching. And take care, guys. Have a good night.
Guys.